Support for the show, FYF Sports, is brought to you by Manscaped, who's the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Manscaped offers precision engineered tools for your family jewels. Manscaped is trusted by over 2 million men worldwide. Join the movement for all of your below-the-waist grooming needs. Get 20% off and free shipping with coupon code FYFCREW at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com. Use the code FYFCREW. Your balls will thank you.
Ain't talking about nothing, right? Watch this. We gon' bring that pressure.
Just a little FYI, FYF, 20K sub 6 months, what's next? They been hating at first, now they calling us the best. Hit up YouTube, tell them cut the check. Just a FYI, FYF, 20K sub 6 months, what's next? Woo, fuck your feelings, we all know who the real is. I be getting to it, ain't wasting no time. Walking straight in, we ain't waiting in line. Fuck your feelings, you don't care about mine. You a YouTube gangster, don't be yelling out slime. Or you talking LB, talking Ticket TV. Ain't nobody watching them, all the viewers be sleep. 5 years in, all your subs is your friends. Ticket TV, watch your cars again. Just a little FYI, FYF, 20K sub 6 months, what's next? They been hating at first, now they calling us the best. Hit up YouTube, tell them cut the check. Just a FYI, FYF, 20K sub 6 months, what's next? Woo, fuck your feelings, we all know who the real is. All know, shop don't close, working 24, trying to make the channel grow. Look at them, pointing fingers, hating on the low. You can't compete with our podcast show, couldn't make it in the league, so we got on TV. Crying by LeBron like a little baby. You must be crazy, trying to ever play me. Or you super tough until it's time to say cheese. Just a little FYI, FYF, 20K sub 6 months, what's next? They been hating at first, now they calling us the best. Hit up YouTube, tell them cut the check. Just a FYI, FYF, 20K sub 6 months, what's next? Woo, fuck your feelings, we all know who the real is.
FYF Sports, man. Salute to everybody for getting in here early. We only going to be going for about 2-3 hours today. No 6-hour stream today, man. I can't let y'all force the stream to go on hours and hours today. But we definitely have some stuff to talk about. We got some stuff to talk about. And that's with Draymond Green. There's 3 different topics. It just seems like they all just hitting the media at the same time. And then he's making more noise off the court than on the court. I mean, we have a situation where And we're going to talk about all three of them. We're going to discuss all three situations. I want everybody's viewpoints on all of them to see if there's any truth behind it. Because some of the stuff he's saying, there's some truth, but then I think there's a bit of exaggerism too with some of these things. So we got three things that we're covering with Draymond Green. He made a statement. He said Draymond Green calls NBA players soft as hell, says they lack competitive spirit. That's one aspect that we have to discuss. Is that true? All right. Are we just living in a different age and time where players is thinking more about their brand, their business, how they can work together to make more money, and just having that competitive fire is just not necessarily as important financially to them? Does that play a role in it? I don't know. We're going to discuss that today. We have Megan Rapinoe. If you don't know who Megan Rapinoe is, she's a popular women's soccer player. She plays for the women's national team. And she slapped down Draymond Green's comments about equality. All right. I'm going to also play a video, a forum of 4 women on ESPN. They had their thoughts on it. I think that forum of 4 women, I think their problem is that they, again, similar to the discussion that we had the other day, too many people are looking at his comments on the surface level, and they can't see past some of the things that he said to look at what he really means. So I think they were flawed, but we're going to play that video for everybody later when we touch on that. And then obviously, lastly, we have to touch on this is Warriors, Draymond Green, and Kevin Durant. Draymond Green was actually on his podcast, and they actually talked about that infamous argument. What was said, what wasn't said, is there any truth to it? And did that potentially result in Kevin Durant leaving? So we're going to be talking about all of those things right there once we bring everybody else in. So salute again to everybody for hopping in early, 163 people in the chat. So just because of that, because normally it takes us about 10, 15 minutes to get to that many people in here, what we're going to do is make sure everybody in here, again, we got to start smashing the like button. Everybody smash the like button. And what I'm also going to ask you guys to do as well, because YouTube has made some really, really weird changes to the algorithm. So if you just hit the like button, sometimes the algorithm will take your like off. If you're not actively commenting on the videos as well. So if you like the video, all right, just show a little bit of support for the video as well and comment as well. That way, when the algorithm looks at your account, it's not looked at as like a bot like or anything like that. So we need everybody, man. Everybody, make sure that you're not just liking the videos, but also go in, leave a comment, let us know what you think. And I don't care. Remember, if you look at our comments, we have a wide array of comments, positive, negative, critical. Again, there's no heavy criticism. There's no trash talking. So I don't care what you go in and say. Right. I take all criticism. I may have something to say. I may not. I don't know. All right. But again, all the engagement helps. But again, we just got to find a way to beat out this algorithm, because it seems like this algorithm is really tailored towards boosting up the channels at the top while making it really hard for the channels at the bottom. So again, it's going to be a tough fight to get to 100K. We're going to get there. Don't worry about it. Again, I think just in the first couple months of the year, I mean, we've already gained about, 3,000 some subscribers. So again, we got to keep building off of that. So salute to everybody that's been helping with the content so far, but YouTube's going to make it tough. So we got to do a little bit better just to keep these videos going. The Shock Jock series will continue. I'll be coming out with the next Shock Jock video this week. That'll be dropping this weekend. So I know a couple of you guys were asking about that. That will be dropping as well. And then the last thing I want to talk about today as well, and I know this is a bit off topic, and again, you can come in and just throw your opinions on this in at any time. But I've been watching the Derek Chauvin trial, and y'all know whenever I watch stuff like this, my opinion on some of these things just be all in left field. I don't say that, but I don't know if you've been watching this case. The one thing that is for certain is that the man is guilty. The man is guilty beyond belief. But man, but even when people are guilty beyond belief, the law says that they can get good representation even if they're found guilty. We saw that with OJ. We know OJ was clearly guilty. He was afforded great representation, and he weaseled his way up out of it. Sometimes that can happen. But this man's attorneys, I'm talking about Derek Chauvin, the guy that's clearly guilty. He probably has some of the worst representation I have ever seen. I mean, literally in like a 15-minute span, I'm watching this attorneys. They're talking about how Floyd maybe potentially built up a tolerance to fentanyl and all these other drugs. Then he got off of it, so his tolerance lowered. And when he took all those drugs again, it caused him to have a heart attack. It wasn't the police. But then 10 minutes later, he's talking about how George Floyd's tolerance for these drugs was so high that he could seem coherent and talk and interact with the cops as if he wasn't high. It's just like, which is, if I'm a juror, I'm saying, what are you arguing? Well, like, which one are you arguing? Like, are you guys just going back and forth? I don't know which direction. And I think the defendant there, Derek Chauvin, they had so much heat coming their way. I mean, it was literally, it was so many expert witnesses coming on, really breaking down footage of why the knee on the neck is what killed him. And it's just like they had so much heat coming their way, they couldn't do nothing about it. If y'all haven't been watching this trial, y'all need to watch it, man. Because, man, that man would probably do a better job representing himself, trying to make up an excuse. You know? What I'm waiting for that one moment. This is what I want y'all to give me y'all thoughts on this with that trial. This is what will set the whole case off. If I'm the prosecutor, I'm gonna say, hey, Derek Chauvin, I want you to get on the ground, and I'm gonna get somebody to hold your legs down. I'm gonna get somebody to hold your arms behind your back while lifting them up, pushing your chest into the ground, and I'm gonna put a knee on your neck for 9 minutes. If you survive, you can go home. Do y'all think he would do that? Do y'all think he would do that? If y'all say, we can hold your legs down, hold your back down, put your arms in the air cuffed, we're going to be pushing up on your arms, forcing your shoulders into the ground, all the while having somebody's knee on your neck, applying major pressure. If you survive, you can walk. Y'all think he'll survive? I don't think he survived that. I don't think he survived. Ain't no way he survived. Ain't no way he gonna get down and be like, I agree to that. But again, I mean, some people is crazy enough to try it. We got Big Chest in the chat talking about sex tapes. We're not talking about sex tape. Hey, and and this is something before we really get started, because the first Draymond Green topic that we're going to be talking about today is going to be the Megan Rapinoe aspect of this, because she came out along with some of these other WNBA players, and they all got their opinions on what Draymond Green said. And see, this is what I think does a disservice to them. Every time I drop a video and I'm talking about the WNBA and some of these situations, don't none of them WNBA players want to come into panels like this and directly speak with men on a public forum. I added this video at about 30 different WNBA players. How many of them WNBA players you think actually pull up and hop in the live chat and really talk about it publicly? Or are they gonna get together when it's popular and just do it on ESPN? See, now it's time to really start looking at them, because the only time I see them really talking about it is when somebody like Draymond Green comes out and makes a critical statement about what they're actually doing or not doing. And then they will go on ESPN and talk about it. But against the masses, remember, if their league is going to be a success, it's not going to be the NBA players that make it a success. It's going to be us, the common people, the everyday people that actually buy those tickets. It's going to be us that buy the merchandise. It's going to be us to watch the videos. It's going to be us that follow their stories. But they never want to interact with us. They always big timers. So, matter of fact, if y'all got time, anybody who wants to right now, I want y'all to add this video at a WNBA player right now. Let's see if we can get a WNBA player in here tonight that can really open up and talk about some of these issues. Because I see too many WNBA players willing to talk on ESPN, and then when the show goes off, nothing changes. But they won't come on these common shows and explain to us, the common people, the ones that are actually going to buy the tickets and put more money in their pockets, they want to explain to us what they're trying to do and how we can hop on board if they're going to try to make their game better. I compel any of y'all, and again, you don't have to, but I want y'all to at this video at a WNBA player and let them know. Matter of fact, y'all can when I drop the link in the chat, y'all can drop the StreamYard link and say, hit the link. We want to talk to you live on air. That's what I want y'all to do. Matter of fact, so this link, I'm going to drop the link in the chat right now, but this link is not for people to come in. This link is for y'all we need to get at some WNBA players, and we need to be like, y'all need to come in the chat and speak on it right now. It's really getting old hearing them talk about it together. See, when they talk, the one thing I don't like about it, and I'm going to play a video that kind of exposes this, is when they talk about it on ESPN, they get no pushback from anybody else. They just all can agree with each other, but there's no one to critique or criticize anything that they're saying. So they're just all in agreement that they're right. You know what we do here, man. We can break all of that down. If they're right, they're right. But if they're wrong, they will get ethered. See, and that's the beauty of this show. Look, I'm going to drop the link in the chat, man. This link is for y'all to spam up some WNBA players, and let's try to get one of those WNBA players in the chat to see if they will really come onto a public forum. That's not ESPN, not Fox News, not CNN, but you come onto a smaller platform and explain to us, the little guys, what's really going on. Because I don't see nothing that y'all doing. Look, I was listening. Man, I'm just gonna play this video, but I'm literally listening to these WNBA players talk about how we're doing this and we're trying to promote the league and we're trying to get more TV shows. I don't want to hear all that noise right there. I would much rather watch a documentary on Mikey Williams or Imani Bates than any WNBA player. That's the sad part about it. And Big Solomon and Kid Trunks, I just told y'all the link is not for y'all to come in right now. I'm gonna let y'all come in here in a minute. I want y'all to spam the StreamYard link to some WNBA players and say we are live on the air right now. And I want some WNBA players to come in. I want to know what are y'all trying to do to get us, because we're the consumers, to consume your product. Because as we're direct fans, if we get some WNBA players in here, especially some high level ones, maybe we can tell them, look, this is why we're not watching your product. It's not because you're women. It's not because it is. We're not watching it because this is X, Y, and Z makes it not pleasant to the eye. It's not fun to watch. Not everyone wants to see technical and fundamental basketball. There are some people in the chat just like to see offense. Like we have these conversations every night. There's some people just want to see the dunks. We have other people just want to see the ESPN highlights. Look, let me pull this video up because this video is going to kind of expose a lot about their thinking and why I agree with Draymond Green to a certain degree, because I think their thinking, their approach to it is flawed. And again, this is not about what they can get out of the WNBA, because I don't care if they make more money. More money will naturally come if you bring in more consumers. Just like with the NBA, we see salaries go up and up. Average borderline all-star players can make $20 million a year. We're talking about Lonzo Ball next year potentially making $20 million a season. It didn't used to be like that, 20, 30 years ago. They're progressively finding ways to increase their brand. Shay Parks was good. Remember, right now, y'all, we're getting to an aspect of our show. I want everybody, if you can, to go on Twitter, go on Instagram. I need y'all to add the StreamYard link to a WNBA player. All right, we need to get a WNBA player in the chat really to answer for some of this stuff, because I'm confused as a consumer, because as a consumer, I don't see what they're doing to make their game better or more watchable. Again, I'm a basketball junkie. I'm going to watch anyway. It's not a lot of basketball junkies that just sit there and watch any type of basketball. There's some people that look at it for the entertainment value. How are y'all increasing the entertainment value? When the thing is, I was turning in to watch UConn play because of one player. I didn't even watch the championship game. I just heard that Stanford won. The championship game was not interesting to me. UConn was more interesting to me because of one player. Why? Because that one player was getting pushed, promoted. We saw the highlights everywhere. There's no other woman in college basketball really getting pushed like that. UConn gets eliminated. I don't care about the women's tournament no more. That's the reality of their situation. Now, how can they address that? Because that's a real life example of what just happened with me. And I'm sure that happened with a lot of other people. Pull this video right now. I keep talking because I could talk on that all day. It's just, I want them. AB to hear. I want you to do it too. I want you to take the StreamYard link. I need you to add it to some WNBA players on Instagram and Twitter. We need to get them in here. We need to get them in here to really speak on this. And then when they speak on it with us, then we can give pushback and see we're not live on air like you have at ESPN where they have to censor some of their thoughts and comments. We can actually be real with them and be like, look, we're the consumers. This is what we see. This is the reality of what the product that we're getting. And maybe they can give us some thoughts on, well, maybe this won't change. Maybe that won't change. But let's see if we can spam them up and really get one of them in here. Now, if they don't pull up, we see what type of time they're on. All right, send them the link to the video. Send them the StreamYard link. Tell them they're welcome to join the chat. I have yet to see one join the backstage yet. All right, we're going to give them about 2-3 more minutes to start joining. All right, I haven't seen one pop up in the chat. Please don't make no fake accounts, man, with WNBA players. This is a serious topic because I know some of y'all can get silly and y'all try to turn into WNBA players in the chat. No, because we really want to be inviting. I really want to get some of them in here. All right, and it's not going to be inviting if we start creating fake accounts and typing crazy stuff in the chat and they come in here and see that. All right, I want to really give one of them an opportunity to come in and speak on this because you can't run around talking about what Draymond Green said was crazy. All right, but then at the end of the day, your product is still not a very watchable product. Let me do this right here. Yeah, exactly. He said exactly. Stop acting childish, man. Shit lame. I mean, again, I don't think nobody's done it yet, but it's something that could potentially happen with the fake accounts. And people take it as a joke. And I don't want it to turn into a joke. I want it to be a real conversation. And the only way it can be a true and real conversation if we get real WNBA players to talk about it. Again, and this is one of the problems. People try to reach out to them. The common people try to reach out to them, and we get nothing back. We get big time. That's just called when you feel like you too big time to talk to the little man. ESPN come calling, you'll quickly do a segment on ESPN with 4 women, but you won't come on a platform like this and speak with the little guys. And then you get mad at Draymond Green for speaking up on your inability to connect with the little guys like us. Because again, at the end of the day, we're the ones that put the money in the WNBA team's pockets, which then translates to bigger salaries. Well, no, this is why I put the StreamYard link. That's why I said y'all need to send them the StreamYard link. Because if they real, they can pull up in the StreamYard and we can see them turn their camera on and we'll know if they're real or not. So that eliminate. I don't want to see the fake accounts in the chat. Draymond Green does watch the WNBA. Any NBA player, most NBA players are basketball junkies. They'll watch sports. They'll watch basketball just because. Like some people think, well, LeBron James probably gets burnt out on basketball. No, he probably goes home and watches basketball. His son play, clips on YouTube. This is what people who love basketball do. All right, but let me play this video for y'all. And again, as this video plays, again, I'm going to put the link in the chat again. And I see you in there. Why me, team me? I see you in the backstage, but I'm going to start letting people in the backstage here in about 5 minutes. All right, I'm going to play this video first. After the video's done, that's when I'm going to drop the link again for y'all to come in. But while the video is playing, I want y'all to take that opportunity to spam this StreamYard link up to some WNBA players and say, look, we're having a live show about the WNBA. All right. And some of the things that Draymond Green said, are you willing to come onto this live panel and really discuss it on a smaller platform and not just ESPN? Are y'all going to big time the little guys, the people? See, we're the ones that represent the little guys that are going to actually be buying tickets and putting money in their pockets. I don't care about the WNBA or the WNBA teams because they can't manufacture dollars and cents out of the air. We have to put it in their pockets. Remember, here's the link again. The link is for y'all to spam it up to WNBA players. We need to get them in this chat. If they don't pull up, we know what type of time they on. All right. And even after the video's over, if they don't comment on the video or reach out to FYF Sports to any degree whatsoever, then we know what type of time they on. Because it's one-sided. You want us to side with you, but we don't know what the hell y'all doing over there because we don't see it. He says Draymond Green don't care about the NBA. If he didn't care about the WNBA, he wouldn't have said nothing about it. All he basically said was, Draymond Green's statement was, y'all need to stop complaining. We need to see more action. Y'all say y'all want more money, right? But we don't see y'all doing anything to bring more money in. That's factual. Because I want y'all to tell me, because we're the fans, we're the common people. What have y'all seen the WNBA do? What can you say that they've done right now that makes you want to go to a WNBA game? I want y'all to, if you are siding with the WNBA, I want you to say, over the last 6 months, this is what the WNBA's done that makes me want to buy season tickets, buy merchandise, get behind this player, get behind this rivalry. I told y'all in the WNBA, I don't even know what teams are rivals. Oh, man, sad. But remember, we're only gonna cook. This topic can go on all night. So we're not gonna cook on it too long, but we need to get some WNBA players, right, to hold their feet to the fire. Yeah, get Skylar. Hey man, and Skylar Diggins is from Indiana. I've actually had some back and forth communications with her on Instagram. I have. She plays for the Phoenix Mercury. All right, but hold on. While y'all are doing that, remember, spam this link. Try to get some WNBA players in here. We got to hold their feet to the fire, really see what's really going on, right? Because we don't want to just sit here and be gossiping about it. I want them to really come in here and tell us what's really going on, and again, by us understanding what's really going on, that's part of understanding your story. That may motivate some of us to be bigger fans if we understand the grind and what y'all actually going through. But if y'all want to just let us believe what the media is spewing out there, that's on y'all. If y'all don't want to pull up and really put it out there, all right, then how can we get behind you? I keep telling y'all, man, it's crazy. Yeah, the Phoenix Mercury. Yeah, she plays for the Phoenix Mercury. I think she got out here last year. I think last season was her first season out here. All right, let me play this video for you. Now, again, I want y'all to, after I drop this video, and SB, I'm gonna be letting people in the live panel here after this video plays. Right now, if you're just coming in, remember, right now, we're taking the StreamYard link in the chat and we're spamming it up to WNBA players on Instagram or Twitter. We need to say, look, we're having a conversation about Draymond Green's comments. Will you guys come in to our platform live and speak on some of these issues with the little guys? I don't want to keep hearing y'all on ESPN and snippets. I want y'all to come in and really interact back and forth with the little guys, because we're the ones that are going to be putting money in these WNBA Pockets teams, not ESPN and all that. All right. If their league is going to blow up, it's going to be because of us, because it's what we want to see. Hey, T-Town Cruise, I don't care about no Bonnet Gang podcast. I want to hear directly from WNBA players, because at Two-Town Cruise, we can talk about what's really going on, but can't nobody in here tell me what have you seen the WNBA actually doing to motivate you to go to a game this season. If you haven't seen anything, then they're probably not doing. Then they're probably doing something wrong. Remember, marketing is key. Marketing is key. All right, and this is why people say Draymond Green has a point, because we don't know. Again, when I can say that I'm a basketball junkie, and a lot of y'all are basketball junkies, but don't none of y'all know the biggest rivalry in the WNBA? Who rivals? Who rivals? What player rivalries are there? Like, we all remember Brittany Griner getting into a fight. Who is she getting in a fight with? That was one of the biggest fights in the WNBA. Who is she fighting? We can all think back on the Malice in the Palace. We remember Ron Artest and Ben Wallace. One of the biggest fights in the WNBA. We can't name nobody in the fight or why it happened or what went down. Ray Durazo, that's the point. They're not doing enough marketing-wise. See, you got to understand, marketing takes money. Which one of them players are going to sacrifice dollars and cents to put into more marketing, more exposure, right, to bolster the league? What I see is a lot of people asking for more money, but no one willing to make the sacrifice to get it. Again, this era of WNBA players is not going to see a significant increase in wages. It's what they do that's going to affect what happens 20 years from now. Khalil Burton said, play the video, fam. I haven't heard it yet. All right, yeah, I'm about to play the video. Damn. Khalil Burton just being all pushy. All right, hold on, y'all. Drop this video for y'all. Actually, I'm going to make it full screen for you.
Week for comments he made in regard to the lack of support for women's sports. Take a listen.
I'm really tired of seeing them complain about the lack of pay because they're doing themselves a disservice by just complaining. They're not laying out steps that they can take to change that. And so it's coming off as a complaint because the people that can change it, they're just going to continue to say, well, the revenue isn't there. The revenue isn't there. So if you don't bring in the revenue, we can't up your pay. They're going to keep using that. But the reality is, as true as that is, it's an excuse because everyone says we support women. We support women empowerment. We support women in the workplace. We do this for women. We do X for women, blah, blah, blah. And everyone uses it to their advantage. Yet these women are not using these people that are saying those very things to their advantage.
USWNT star Megan Rapinoe, obviously taking exception to these remarks, and in a recent press conference said the following, quote, "It's really unfortunate that in the position he's in, having all the resources that he has and the ability to have a much more educated opinion, that he just hasn't. Really frustrating. Obviously, he just kind of showed his whole ass and not understanding what we talk about the whole time. You don't think that we've asked for more investment? I mean, what are we screaming about nonstop?" Okay, so we have a lot to unpack here, and here to help us do so, we have ACC Network host, Monica McNutt, making her first Take debut. Lady, congratulations. Welcome to the show. It's Ladies' Hour. So happy to have you. And obviously a lot to unpack here with these comments. So, Chiney, I want to start with you here. What's your reaction to Draymond's comments?
The only worst thing about being wrong is being loud and wrong. I think Brandon Marshall is sort of learning that right now. The meme, right?
Hey, Brandon.
Accurate. But I've known, hey, Brandon, it's all good, Brandon. You gave us a great meme, Brandon. Thank you. Now, I've known Draymond Green for a while. We both played on the World University Games team together for Team USA back when we were in college, which makes this all the more difficult because Day, I mean, he's been on the show with us. He has the right relationships. He has the right people to look to really get answers. So let's set this straight. WNBA players would absolutely love more money, of course, but we understand the economic realities of our league. But, you know, complaints from WNBA players, that's not happening anymore. Do you know why? Well, I've got the answer. I am vice president of the WNBPA, an amazing players association. And in 2020, we ratified a new CBA that addressed our players' concerns. Obviously, salary. For the first time, we have average salaries in 6 figures, which is amazing. That CBA was not just a win for women's hoopers. It was a win for women in the workplace, period. Widely celebrated. More increase in salaries, full paid maternity leave, mental health resources, you name it, we got it. And there's a reason why they're saying that there's a saying that women have to work twice as hard to get half as far. Mm-hmm. And if you think that women are not doing the work right now to get our stories told, then you are wildly misinformed. Anyone that supports our game is a real one because they do so with the expectation that they will not get the credit. The women have been, you know, putting in the work and trying to tell their stories, but until we have equity in the rooms that matter most, equity there where representation is there so that our stories actually have enough proximity where people can relate to, then it's going to be hard. And we've been fighting this uphill battle for so long, which is why, you know, I think he really cares and he comes from a place of passion. But the hardest thing is realizing that the platform that you say, it's like, use your platform to empower us, not to say I'm not going to speak on Women's History Month. No, use your platform to amplify those who have solutions instead of just preaching what the problems continue to be. And by the way, those problems are outdated because we are moving in a whole different direction.
Yes, absolutely.
I love everything you just said, Chanae. And the funny thing is, the last time the three of us had our first take over, Draymond was on. So when I was watching him, I was like, he really could have called Chanae. He really could have called if he had questions. That's what bothered me the most, because he has access to the answers. He literally has access, the Rolodex to like, hey, Chanae, hey, Megan, hey, Sue, what's going on? But I actually did, as much as I laughed as he was talking and I shook my head, I did like one thing that he said, which was people like to say that they support women's sports and women athletes and stuff like that. He's right about that. People love to say it, but do you watch regular season games? Do you watch college? Do you buy the same? Do you buy jerseys? Do you invest it? Executives, do you put the games on? It's not just the equal pay and all that. Like, that aside, there's a bigger issue about the commitment, the support. It's not just financial. Where do you spend your energy? If these games aren't being televised, if you aren't showcasing the draft, if you're not talking about issues that affect women athletes at the same rate, that's part of it too. It's this like mushrooming thing. And I'm glad that he spoke, because we're talking about the how he's not connecting all the dots. We're speaking about it, and it continues the conversation, because there are a lot of people sitting on their couch right now like, Draymond had a point. I see exactly what he's saying. Like, if the revenue's not there, the revenue's not there. What you want? But they're not actually acknowledging that, like Sue Bird and Chloe Kim and Simone Manuel, like Alex Morgan, like they started their own website to women are out there trying to create their own content and do things for themselves. And if Draymond doesn't get it, and he's a guy who's got connections, like he has resources to the answers, he knows people. How do you expect guys in corner offices who make decisions about programming to actually invest? That's what bothers me. It's a whole bigger thing than just Draymond, but I'm glad he spoke his truth and how he sees it.
See, here's the problem with what they saying, y'all. I don't care if you put WNBA games on every major network on TV. Ain't nobody watching it because the games aren't as interesting. We don't know none of the players. We don't know none of the rivalries. We don't have teams to get behind. We don't have players to get behind. I just told y'all. Remember, this is why we need some of them WNBA players in here. And it's a shame that all y'all been spamming them up and not one of them will pull up. That's the sad part about it. Remember what I told y'all. I only tuned into the women's NCAA tournament to watch UConn. And the one player on UConn that I was really wanting to watch was, I think her name is Paige Buckets. It's only one. I didn't know nobody else. And why do I watch her? Because whoever is in her camp is doing a good job, and people in social media are doing a good job of pushing her content. So we knew her story. We knew where she came from. We saw how good she was in high school, and we wanted to watch her in college. Not only did we watch her in college, she was on one of the best teams in the country, right? They were beating people, right? And the story was that they were one of the youngest teams in the country. She's a freshman, won player of the year. That's a great story to get behind. So when they were eliminated, I cared nothing about the championship game because I can't name one player on Stanford's team, can't name one player on Arizona's team, can't name one player on Notre Dame's team, can't name one player. I only know one player from South Carolina, and that's because they used to do a good job of pushing her when she had all the hype in high school, but then they stopped doing it when she got to South Carolina. I don't know none of y'all to get behind. So it doesn't matter if y'all put it on TV. Ain't nobody watching it if they don't know who you are. Y'all keep saying y'all trying to put y'all stories out there. How are y'all trying to put y'all stories out there? Because I haven't seen not one of y'all story, and I'm always looking for more basketball content to watch. How is you keep saying this is what I mean? Them WNBA. This is why y'all got to keep spamming them WNBA players up. Here, I'm about to drop the link for y'all now. As y'all seen, not one single WNBA player has came into the live chat. They haven't came into the backstage. All right. This is what they do. You try to get them to talk. Remember, if they're really about expanding their game, they'd be willing to pull up and talk to anybody any day and time. That's the stage of where their game is. They can't pass up no opportunities to talk about their game. And if they can't come to a small platform like this, they want a big timers, right? Then how can we get behind you and support you? All right, I told you, it's not like y'all just been spamming them. I've been spamming them all day to come onto this platform. Not one has responded back. Why? Because they all want to big time you. And I've seen that a lot of those messages are even seen. So I know they've seen it and they know why I'm having this show. See, this is what I mean. When Draymond Green says, stop complaining, I'm now about to get on that same boat because I've been reaching out to you guys all day. You guys are at a stage in your league where you need to get on any platform to discuss these issues because everybody is wondering, why should we get behind your game? Who should we get behind? What team should we follow? Who are y'all? I want one of y'all to tell me right now. Nobody Google it. Who is the most improved player in the WNBA last year? Who was the sixth man of the year in the WNBA last year? What WNBA player led the league in three-point percentage? Who's the best three-point shooter in the WNBA? It's a problem that we don't notice. I can't even name 5 All-Stars, I can't even name the All-Star starters. That's even from the most recent All-Star game that they had. See, but then they'll be really quick to jump on people who are critical of what they're actually doing. When somebody comes out and contests, what are you actually doing? Then they start complaining about, oh no, you're wrong. You're just talking loud. Well, hold on. Did you even listen to what the man said? The man did not remember, listen to what their response was. They came back and said, Draymond's telling them to ask for more money. That's not what Draymond Green said. Draymond Green said, all you guys are doing is asking for more money, but you're not doing anything to give anyone a real reason to give you more money. It's much easier. If I'm a salesman at an auto company, a car dealership, and I know for a fact as a salesman, I'm bringing in $5 million in sales every year for this company because I'm selling all these luxury cars. It's much easier for me to walk in there and ask for a raise as compared to the other guy that's just showing up every day. He might sell 10,000 or something worth. He just doing his job. He just showing up to get the check. It's like a lot of these players are just showing up to get the check. That's how I compare them. The link is in the chat, man. I got 3 of y'all in here right now. I'm gonna let y'all in. We got SB, we got Wyoming TV, we got True the King, and I want more of y'all to come on in and cook on this because we're gonna cook on this topic. Remember, we're cooking on all of these topics from Draymond Green's perspective. I don't really want to talk about unless a WNBA player actually comes in here. I don't want to get off into a long diatribe about the WNBA because if they don't want to come in and speak for their own league, then why are we wasting our time speaking for them? That's how I feel about it. They don't want to speak for themselves and come in here and they want a big time, smaller platforms. I'm not about to keep wasting time talking to them or talking about them. And that's just the facts of the matter. Because the NBA is putting a product out there that I want to watch. Even football's doing that to a certain degree. I would much rather watch a Major League Baseball game than a WNBA NBA game. What are they doing wrong to where their product's not watchable? But nobody wants to come address it. Again,
that's what I said.
It's so easy for them to group up together and talk about it on a major platform like ESPN and say Draymond Green is wrong, but you haven't had that conversation when Draymond Green is in the room to give you any pushback.
Hey, Lamar, hold on, wait. I'm finna tell you. I'm gonna see if you know what ESPN did. It's crazy how they did that topic, right? And had all women on a panel for that, right? So you know what the perspective is going to be. ESPN know what they're doing. Okay, we're going to cause controversy. We're going to put all women on the panel for this. this subject of this topic because this is going on today. We're gonna do that. You know, of course, they all gonna disagree with Draymond. They don't even care. ESPN don't. I'm gonna tell you, ESPN don't care. Why they don't ever do a topic about the WNBA? We don't even know who the GOATs of the WNBA. We don't have a GOAT debate topic of Lisa Letts and Candace Parker.
Why?
We don't even got that.
They got all these TV deals. They got all these TV deals, right?
But this is all arguments to prove. Because remember, we got to talk about it from the perspective: is Draymond Green right or wrong for saying it? I think he's right. And you're right. There is no GOAT debate. But I think at this point in time, nobody cares.
I thought Draymond addressed a big issue that they just completely glossed over.
Yeah.
Where he talked about how you got other women's agencies and like different forms and stuff like that. When people say they take advantage of those situations when people talk about empowering women. These WNBA players don't take advantage of it. Like, case in point, like with your channel, one of the platforms, like you said, they want to have a pissing contest instead of you got to almost like put yourself out there. You can't look for no agent or no PR person. You got to do it yourself. Like, start your own podcast and then do it similar to this. Have a bunch of fans and people that, you know what I'm saying, so like people get familiar with you and you easy to access. Like somebody said in the comment section, you can't even leave messages in Skylar Diggins' Twitter. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like, it's just like y'all shut the whole world off. You know what I'm saying? But then want everybody to support y'all at the same time. Like, it's bullshit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, when the WNBA first came around, it was way more popping than what it is now. Even in college basketball, one of my favorite players was Ivory Lotta. They used to play for North Carolina. You know what I'm saying? So, like, where's all this shit at? Like what you just alluded to a little bit ago. I can't name none of these college girls because they don't promote them. You know what I'm saying? So, like, what y'all want us to do? Like, it's to me, like I said over on U3, it's all up to women because women, I've never seen a group of women say, we about to go watch this WNBA game. But I have seen a group of women say they about to go watch the Lakers or this team or that team. So it's just like, y'all got to target that audience first because if the women is doing it, then the men going to follow. Men going to be where the women at. So if the women get it busted, then the men going to follow suit. Plain and fucking simple. They arguing with the wrong group. Yes, and then I see this chick arguing about blaming black men and shit. Like, how the fuck you blame black men? Like, everybody always want to look at us and point at us and shame us and shit because it's easy and it's convenient and you ain't gonna get no major backlash from these major corporations for doing the shit. Don't blame us.
They are blaming you. Why are they blaming you?
Yeah, man.
Because we blow the most money, bro.
I mean, because like, yeah.
Hold on,
yeah, man. It's crazy, man. Something I want to say. You said this earlier. So when you was talking about Paige Beckers, the weird thing is, like these smaller sports medias, like Bleacher Report and House of Highlights, they be promoting these girls coming out of high school. Like there's this girl, she's the #1 player in the United States. Her name is Ozzie Food, and she gonna be at UConn, and she played with Paige Beckers on the women's Team USA under 17, and they was dominant. Like if you watch them, like they can hoop and they gonna be teammates next year. Plus you got this girl that's gonna be a sophomore at Louisville. Her name is Haley Van Lith and everything, and she's been seen with Kobe and everything, but ESPN don't promote it. If you want to see these girls, you gotta go to Overtime Women's Basketball, House of Highlights, Bleacher Report, Clutch Points, and everything. Like these smaller media places, they're promoting these women and they're promoting the skills. But the problem is like ESPN and everything, and they're a big saying we support women's equality, ESPNW, but you don't see these girls. You don't see these girls' highlights on the ESPNW part of the ESPN app. Hey, you don't see the game. They don't show you that many high school women's games like that.
I'm gonna tell you why UConn has become one of the biggest powerhouses. Because remember, we know about some of these women before they get to college. It's when they disappear when they get to college. These schools ain't doing a good job of marketing their own players. UConn does a great job of marketing their players because UConn is where? In Connecticut, right by ESPN. So when they bring those recruits in, where are they taking them for their recruiting visit? To ESPN. They giving them a tour over there. They doing that. So actually UConn is actually using ESPN not to just recruit, but then if you go look on ESPN, the only documentary that I seen about women's basketball this year was about the UConn team. And this is all over YouTube. But that was of interest to me because, like you said, smaller media outlets like Bleacher Report did a good job of letting us know who some of these girls were. But when they get to college, nobody cares about the marketing factor no more with these women. And so it's trash after that. Now I don't know you. You disappear for 4 years, and then you go to the WNBA. Remember, 4 years is a long time. I don't know who you are in 4 years. I don't even know when the draft happens. They talk about put the WNBA draft. They talk about put the WNBA draft on TV. I barely want to watch the full first round of the NBA draft. That's how boring they get. So the draft, you telling us they're asking for all this stuff, and like I said, hold on, I'm gonna go to one cool P because I think she's the only one woman in here. What is your thoughts on that video that I just played, and then also with what Draymond Green said?
Well, I think you're absolutely right. You hit it. And more people need to get in there. Hell, why can't Nike go in there and support them with some shoe contracts and stuff and give them something, But you got to start somewhere. You got to start probably right there at high school, just like you guys said. They got to promote them more. They got to do more. They got to speak their name. Now, ESPN is moving slow. I can appreciate ESPN giving those 4 ladies their own show. They wasn't just using them. That is their show every hour like that on during the week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's their show. So they wasn't just using them for today. That's their platform. And slowly but surely, those girls, those ladies are going to bring in and talk about more WNBA stuff. That's a good start. It's slow, but it's a good start. But I agree with you on the Draymond thing. They really need to promote these girls a lot more, a lot better.
I just think they need to be willing. See, again, it starts small. Like it's like me with this channel right here. I can't just sit around and expect big sponsors to come to me at the stage that I'm at right now. I can't expect stuff to just happen without me going out there, putting my feet on the ground, making it happen. They're at the stage now where the players, they keep asking everybody else to do for them. The WNBA, NBA players, NBA, they need to get feet on the ground and start building their own league up, just like everybody else has to build their own platforms up themselves. And then when you get to a certain point, like the NBA is right now, you don't have to go do that legwork anymore. People will come to you, but they're not at that stage. It's just like what we said when I told y'all to spam up them WNBA players for a reason, because I want to see how many of them is willing to start doing the legwork, come on to smaller platforms like this, and really talk about their league any chance they get. And again, we're going to be on for about 3 hours a day. Let's see how many pull up. Let's see how many really care about their league. All right, how many really want to talk about these issues? All right, and if any of you WNBA players are listening, let me know in the chat. And if you try to come in, I'll let you in. But other than that, there's no way for me to know because you guys aren't interacting with the common everyday people, like somebody in the chat said. You guys have a lot of y'all social media accounts, so people can't even message you.
Right. Can I say one more thing?
Yeah, go ahead.
Kobe was working on a lot of that too. Promoting and bringing that WNBA to life. He was really working hard on that.
He was.
Right. Yeah, like
they was banking on his daughter to grow up and be this major superstar.
Right. But that's one of the problems. Why are they banking on Kobe to why y'all they not promoting they themselves? That's I don't understand how they act so bougie. They act like they ain't like they can like this is. That's why the WNBA back in the day was so successful because there was more fan interaction. You know what I mean? They really the WNBA players in the beginning appreciated the fans more than the WNBA players do today. You know what I mean? And you can clearly see that in the beginning, and so it's like I don't understand it, man. Yep. They feel ungrateful, man. They get that money, and it's like I don't know, man.
Let me
give a salute to Ralph Lauren and the cash out with the donation, man. Appreciate that. Again, we need as many as we can get so we can get this FYF sports community game up and running. So salute, appreciate that, Ralph Lauren.
How close are you, Lamont?
We're not even halfway, if I'm being honest.
Halfway?
We're not even halfway. Nah. So
I had a question. Yeah. What is it about? Is it about money? Is it about promotion? What is it about? Because
it's about equality to them.
What is equality to them?
Hold on,
everything what you just listed.
Like I understand what you're saying, but like you said about Kobe and everything, what steps are they taking to make sure that their league is being seen? With all the
Nothing.
females
That's the
they
problem.
have,
Nothing, man. They not though, bro. They not. They not.
they
That's
Because
what they
have
basically
female version of the jump show every
they
day.
basically ask for a hand.
Hold on, let's go one at a time. Hold on, we got KJ Hawkins in here. I haven't seen him in the chat before, so I wanted to see what are your thoughts on this conversation.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We hear you.
It's just simple, man. I'm just gonna keep it real. They suck. It's like I'm, you know, for the last 40 years, man, we always sugarcoating ladies and not telling the truth. WNBA, they are terrible. There are middle school boys, like 15 years old, more athletic than them. I'm not attacking women. Y'all suck. That's why even women don't watch the WNBA.
People's not into sports that much, though.
Huh?
People's not really into sports like that. There's another reason why they feeling too.
Okay,
hold on. Well,
so why do you see women in NFL? Why you see women in NBA?
Because the females go where the men go.
KJ, here's the pushback I would give you. This is slight pushback that I would give you, and I appreciate your take on it because what you're saying, if any WNBA players have crept in and are just listening, this is some of the things that you're gonna have to hear and accept before you start looking for solutions. Because we all know for a fact that what KJ just said is what a lot of people say when the cameras are off. That's a fact. We all know that. So what I'm saying, but again, I'm the basketball junkie of the group. What I'm saying is we see lower levels of basketball get more attention than the WNBA. For example, when Imani Bates plays, if Imani Bates and Mikey Williams play tomorrow on ESPN, do you know how many people? Remember, that's a lower level of basketball than any professional league, overseas, anything. Well, hold on. Even when the Big Three plays, we sit there and tune in and watch Big Three games, and it's not very high quality basketball. They're playing half court 3-on-3, but we're tuning in to watch it. So what I'm saying is the quality. What you think of the quality of the game is irrelevant because what sells these games is the marketing. The Big Three is really low quality basketball. That's YMCA type basketball, but they market it like it's not, and they get more notoriety and viewership because of how they market it. That's all I'm saying. But what KJ said, he's just one of the few that will come in and just be honest about it. Again, a lot of people, and again, this is why it's good for some of these WNBA players to come onto these smaller platforms, because what he said is not something that they will hear if they just go on ESPN and talk about it amongst four women. They're not going to hear it. They're just going to call him a troll if they see his comment saying that on Twitter or something, and they're going to disregard it. But he's one of the people that will are paying. If you go to a WNBA game, they're buying the merchandise or supporting it on the internet. So we got to take the good with the bad, and that's why I wanted some of them in here, because they can get a more realistic approach. And then if a WNBA player was in here, they could potentially have a conversation with KJ about it, and they could go back and forth with it. But they're not even allowing that to happen, because what they've done is now they big time all the smaller platforms, and they're too good for us. They can only deal with the likes of ESPN to get their message across. I think that's one of the worst marketing strategies you can have when you're not even at that level yet.
Exactly, and tell them to go. Tell them to go to Rico Hines in the offseason and work out with a lot of them NBA players. That got a pretty big platform over there. And tell them to go to the Ballers Life YouTube page.
Rucker Park. Like, so Lamar Park is something, man. Something different, man. Like, there's a lot of things you can do over here, man. Like, it's like, come on, man.
We talking about the WNBA or all female?
The WNBA. Like, I guarantee you, if a lot of them girls went to Rico Hines in the offseason and worked out with the James Hardens and all them different NBA players, because they get a lot of views on that channel. So if them girls was to go over there and work out and do all that, a lot of people gonna see that, and then they can display their skills against real NBA players.
Why do we know Liz Cambridge more so now?
She's getting sponsored.
No, we know Liz Cambridge more so now just because of YouTube. She's been getting those workout videos against guys. And she's not. And if you listen to her talk in these interviews, she's not shying away from the sexuality of it. She knows that some guys just tune in because they think she looks good or whatever, or however you want to play it. But what she's doing is she is creating her own market. So now, if Liz Cambridge plays a game and we know about it, you're probably slightly more likely to tune in that game just because you know her and you followed her on social media. How many of these other WNBA players can you say you know them? You see them working and grinding on YouTube. You know, she's beat, even though these are smaller guys, but she's beating them one-on-one. She's dropping them off. They're making great highlight clips. It's fun to watch. I might tune in to see Liz Cambridge play. I'm not tuning in to see it. Some of those women that we just saw in that video play in the WNBA. I'm not tuning in to watch any of them women play because I don't know who they are. Don't even know their names really.
And then they was up there with mush mouth responses, like especially the second girl that spoke. You didn't even really. I didn't even like. She spoke in a complete fucking circle. I'm like, what is she talking about?
Yeah,
like,
I didn't know. She was bad. That was
she
bad.
went all the way off the fucking grid. Like, and Liz Claybridge, she wear them little bitty shorts, so like she getting that appeal. And like you said, this guy's like anti that want to climb that tree. You know what I'm saying?
but what she's doing is remember what I told you. Remember when I told you about viewership when I was doing my marketing video on YouTube? I said I'm not just trying to get viewers from YouTube. I got my website. I'm trying to get viewers from Google. I'm trying to get them from Tumblr, from Pinterest, from LinkedIn. And so again, they have to be willing to accept all viewership from all angles, whether you are cool with it or not. Just accept it, because I don't think men want to be looked. I mean, guys in the NBA, they don't mind it, but there are women who go to the games because they like looking at the guys. That's just a fact, and women will tell you that, but the guys just don't care. They accept all because they're buying tickets too, and that's what matters, man. You got to be able to get viewership from all angles, and if you're not willing to accept it, if you want to dismiss this viewership because they might look at you in a sexual manner, well, then you're gonna have a hard time building up your brand and getting people to follow you.
And you know what's so insulting about all this stuff is that these women are ungrateful. Like, these guys don't have to do none of this. It's like we live in a time that women can say anything to us and expect us to help them. Like, it's kind of remind me of, like, I know this might sound a reach, like white racism, right? You know how white people can, like, especially back in the day, they can say anything, kill us, rape us, and do all type of stuff and dare you to say something back. This is what it sounds like today. It's like women can say anything, do anything, and then when we like retaliate, we the problem.
True that.
So I mean, I'll tell the chicks, find a different profession. Y'all suck. I don't care about your feelings, man.
But hey, my brother. Well, okay. I don't want to bring the topic out of this, but I got a question for you. Give me the difference between the women's UFC and the WNBA. The difference is with the women's UFC when
they're entertaining, they talented.
Exactly. Yeah. But they sponsor who's talented and who's a great player in their sport in the women's UFC. I don't see that in the WNBA.
Kid Trunks, to a degree, that's true, but a lot of them girls suck. Like Ronda Rousey was trash. She just looked good to a lot of people, just like the Paige Van Zant. She get beat up every time they put her on UFC. So, I mean, their marketing strategy is a little different. They base it solely off looks because the one girl, Amanda Nunes, be knocking everything out moving, and you barely hear about her. You know what I'm saying? So like they base it off looks more so than your actual talent.
But she's a bigger name. Well, I can say this: she's a bigger name than the majority of people in the WNBA right now. That's a problem.
Yeah, because he pushes her. Their league.
Like people know who she is. It's like, and she probably making more money than all of them too. Without she don't even got. So
with one fight,
and she's like, but here's the thing, though, right? She has a story. She has a story. They promote her. She has a story. She has a background that people nobody knows she's WNBA play story. What makes you different? What makes you unique? You know what I mean?
The strategy from boxing is this: like, remember the Conor McGregor Floyd Mayweather fight. That wasn't that wasn't a tactical fight that was gonna be crazy. But you know what? Those two are great at
talking shit and promoting.
They're great at selling it. And they sold us that it was going to be one of the greatest boxing matches of all time. and we all bought that pay-per-view to watch it, and they all got rich off of it. But the thing is,
I
they
ain't
sell
buy
it.
it.
It's the story. You don't have to, but what I'm saying, they both got richer off of it. They got a lot of money off it. A lot of people made money off it, but it's
Floyd
because
Mayweather made like $300
you're
million.
selling it. You're selling the storyline. You're selling it, but we don't know the story in the WNBA. We don't know what like I said, without a rivalry, you telling me to go just start going to random games. I don't know who I'm cheering for. I don't know what I'm watching. I don't have any vested interest in it, but you just want me to just start watching randomly out the blue.
Right.
That's what they want you to do. It's just like, it makes no sense.
Every sport that you see females play, they have a story. They have a story. You can even professional wrestling. They have a story. They have a background.
They
People
just
would be
good looking,
invested in.
man.
It's not about being good looking, because like I said before, it's not about being good looking.
He's right.
You don't have a story. You don't have a story. I don't care how you look. You know what I mean? It's attractive females in WNBA. Handful, but nobody cares because they don't have a story.
And
nobody cares.
They should start making a story. Because soon, what's it called? I'm not trying to compare him, but soon when Larry Bird and Magic came out, the media came out and tried to push these posters, trying to make these two guys
exactly. They had a story.
Okay, hold up. Okay. They try to make these two people go against each other. Want a little kid. When a little kid see a poster like that, they like, wow, that's greatness right there. And when Michael Jordan came, oh my God, the league covered. They give this dude a Superman cape. They don't do that with the WNBA. I don't know no star. I don't know. The only person I know is Candace Parker, and the only reason why I know her is because she's on that TV show with Shaq and what's the other, Dwayne Wade.
Well, you're a little too young, but she's one of the more popular. She's one of the most popular female basketball players ever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know she's pretty good and stuff. I look her up.
Because she was the first one to dunk outside of Cheryl Miller. She was the first one to actually dunk in a game.
Yeah, but you know the crazy thing about it is
most of the WNBA players spend 4 years in college, right?
Most of them,
yeah.
Most of them spend 4 years in college, right?
Yeah.
They don't do one and done. But you never really hear about them after high school, right?
That's what we just talked
No,
about.
you hear about them after high school.
It's a big gap between high school into the WNBA. So, like you said, these players got to take it on themselves to build their brand while they're in college, because the college thing, and they giving them a free education, and they giving them the shine on the national TV. They got to take it upon themselves to build their brand and let they still be known while they're in college. So by the time they get the WNBA, they know their story and they know who they invested in. People,
but don't you think that's more of a crutch? Don't you think that's more of a crutch on them to build their story? Because like Cynthia Cooper and Cheryl Swoops and all of them didn't have social media to help drive them. We living in the age of social media and people still don't know about you. That's a fucking problem.
Yeah.
Because Cynthia Cooper and Cheryl Miller, they was all by word of mouth. They was dogging out men.
Right. And you know the thing is that
easier than they did back then.
Right. But you know what the difference is?
It's a different time. It's a different generation, a different athlete.
But you know
it's a catch-22. They damned if they do, they damned if they don't. And as men, we damned if we do, we damned if we don't too. Because if we say we don't give a fuck how they feel, they need to do this, and we just leave them all out there to hang and dry by themselves, they like, yo, if something go wrong with y'all, they gonna have our back. We gotta have their back too. But it's like you damn if you do, you damn if you don't. It's like they gotta take ownership onto the situation, because it seemed like that panel they had of them ladies on ESPN was just like it was all a dated perspective. They didn't. I don't know, man. It's crazy.
Well, it's crazy. Hey, why me? You are right on that. But what my thing is when you are a small platform, you have to do a lot of groundwork to get your league again up and running. They're talking about they're putting all this work in to get all this extra money and benefits from the WNBA. You guys got to fight tooth and nail with the WNBA to get all these benefits, primarily because none of the players are actively going out there. They may be doing it, but nothing that I can see. They're not going out there, putting themselves out there so that they can engage with fans like us. Like I said, just this video was a prime example of how they put themselves on another pedestal where they can't come to platforms like this and discuss it, but they will go to ESPN to discuss it where they get no pushback. And because that's where my biggest beef with them is. You're a small platform right now trying to build your brand up to make more money for everybody, but you want to walk and talk like you're the big dog on campus.
Yeah.
Like if you play college sports, everybody knows that one college athlete. Everybody knows he's a walk-on. He never gets playing time, but he's walking around campus like he's that dude just because he has the backpack and the gear. And that happens a lot. But ultimately, that dude gets no respect because he's not the one. He's not that dude. You can't walk and talk and act like you're that top dude and expect to get the same results, as like what the NBA gets or these players get. You got to start putting in legwork. And they're not going to pull up. Again, we're going to go through this whole stream right here. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. We might get one WNBA player to pull up. I doubt we do. But again, they when you start big time in smaller platforms while you're growing, while you guys are actually a small platform, okay, well then now we see what type of time you own. That's all. That's how I look at it.
But the problem is though, they think they're a big platform because they're the best in their profession, and that's what they get a lot of respect. Like they feel though because they reach a certain level, right, where they the top, that they can do that type of stuff, and that's in reality y'all can't because y'all fell off. Why is there's no reason that the WNBA was at its peak in the beginning, didn't dwindle down? That's y'all problem. Y'all that's in a lot of players. The players, there's a lot of fault because of that. You know what I mean? Because there's no reason that it was at a certain height, sold out games. Now all of a sudden it's not. That's ridiculous and it's disgraceful.
It's their fault, man.
And it's like I said, like they don't appreciate the fans. They like they issue on small platforms. Like you notice back in the day, a lot of them females from the beginning, the Lisa Leslie's and all that, they appreciated the fans. They cared about the game of bat like they was legendary before the WNBA. They was been that for fan favorites before there was a WNBA. So it's like, and they appreciated the fans more. But now you got people, you can't even message them, you can't even really interact with them. That's corny, man. Right. Who are you, the big time a smaller platform? Like what have you done in the game of sport in sports? So you get big time people and itch on people. That's corny, man.
Right.
Like
let me give another salute. Let me give one more salute to Ralph Lauren. I know Ralph Lauren, he be in the comments sometimes and he'll say some crazy stuff. But man, salute to him again with another donation. He just put $100 towards the community basketball game. So again, salute to Ralph Lauren, man, with a big time donation specifically for the FYF Sports Community Basketball game, man. Much appreciated, man.
Hey Ralph, that's what's up, Ralph. Good job, man. Good.
You be wild on comments though, but that's what's up though. You be wild.
You can't be naming yourself Ralph Lauren when your ass I be seeing your pictures. You be having on that Polo Association. Gotta have a real thing, bro.
When they got two men on the horse, all types of stuff.
That's a donkey.
Hey, I don't know where. I'm trying to figure out where we're wrong at though, y'all. Because like what True just talked about, like when it first came out, like it was like Teresa Witherspoon, Rebecca Lobo.
They care about the fans,
had somebody that everybody knew about, and it was popping. And then it just went away. Because I remember we had a team here called the Cleveland Rockers. They actually went to a WNBA final, and then it was just like a year or two after that, they was just like gone. I was just like, damn, what happened? And the people were supporting them. You know what I'm saying?
They got bougie. They got too big headed. You know what I mean? They took everything for granted. You know what I mean? People, not the people in the beginning, but it dwindled down. And it's like, oh, we made it. Y'all didn't make it. Y'all still got work to do. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like, it's ridiculous, man.
Shay, what you got on it?
Yeah, I know Shay wanted to talk about it. Well, yeah, what you got on this, Shay?
I do agree, that they need better promotion, but I like to click on this narrative too, because I wanted to play sports, when I was younger and stuff like that. My mom ran track, so I wanted to run track and I wanted to play basketball. But from the narrative I got fed in high school was you might want to find something else to do because it's not lucrative, to play in, to be a pro athlete as far as basketball goes. Now, soccer is, a little bit more lucrative, but it's not really lucrative, and you're better off just getting a 9-to-5 job. I think, honestly, that's where the problem is too, where I think it's a lot of talented people that don't play, that don't get the shine and stuff like that on these basketball Instagrams and stuff like that we don't know about. Because I'm gonna be honest, I knew about like the Candace Parkers and the Cheryl Swoops. Like I knew they was basketball players and stuff like that, but I never caught a WNBA game. Like I didn't know where to go watch it. I wasn't sure as far as league pass went, because when I was younger, my mom was willing to pay for ESPN and stuff like that, and NFL Network back then when you had to pay for it. And so I knew more about where to catch the men's sports than I did women's until it came to like the Final Fours and stuff like that. But I was pretty much discouraged from playing, not doing track, but basketball, because they were like, it's not really lucrative like that. You're not really gonna live off of it like that, and you're better off, going to find another job.
Yep. And what you said is a good point, because when there's a certain game on that we want to see, what we as consumers do, we will go seek out where that game is. Like you said, I don't remember a time where I said, there's a WNBA game on right now, I need to go watch that. And I'm actively looking for a channel that this game might be on, or maybe there's a network that's playing all the games like the NBA League Pass that I need to sign up for and get. Like, when did they? And this is what happens when you stop promoting your teams and rivalries, because whenever there is a big rivalry game, don't nobody know that it's a rivalry. Ain't nobody behind the teams. Ain't nobody following the players, and you can't sell nothing. So now they're telling us to go buy a product that, again, how can I buy a product with no vested interest in it whatsoever? That's now I'm just doing it, and this is what they're looking for, is the short-term boost, because they just want to get fans just to say, oh, we sold this stadium out. You don't want to have them there because these are lifetime fans that are going to show up for the next 10, 15 years. It sounds like you just want people to say right now, okay, we sold out a game today. I don't care about the game tomorrow, though. And that's the problem right there. The marketing is flawed. I don't know. The players, I'm blaming the players, because the players are the ones running out there, jumping in front of the gun, talking about Draymond Green is wrong. So now I got to come at the players. This is why I'm specifically having y'all target the players in these tweets. And I'm doing it myself right now, because if they don't hop into this live stream, then I can't speak on y'all behalf anymore. I've tried to have they back for the longest, but they won't come speak with us or even explain to y'all why we should get behind that product or why we feel they're right or wrong. They can't deal with us like that.
Because they cowards, man.
No, it's crazy. You're right though. You can't just expect for us to like automatically spend money on it. That shit like putting baby powder on corn on the fucking cob. Like it don't make sense. You know what I'm saying?
I think you should address the real issue.
Is that what?
Is that the game isn't that watchable? Because I have tried watching WNBA games. It's a little too slow paced. Because they do have people who can ball. No doubt about that. But they're limiting the players because of the pace. If they, speed up the shot clock, let's say 14 seconds after a rebound, like how the NBA has, let these players get a little bit in transition so they can show their handles a little bit more.
Hold on. Let me give a salute to Bees, man. We had another big-time donation towards the community basketball game with $100, man. Big-time salute for that, man. Appreciate it.
Shout out to Bees.
Shout out, brother Bees.
Babe, what you said, I don't think that's true. Because remember Khalil brought up a name. He said, because I remember watching North Carolina games when Ivory Latta played. She was a fun player to watch. They didn't need to speed up. They didn't need to speed up the game. They didn't do nothing to it. But you know what? The school and the NCAA did a good job of marketing her. Remember, she was a smaller guard. She was out there. tough as nails, fast as hell. I remember them battles that she used to be in, and I would tune in to watch Ivory Ladd.
Exactly. That was my favorite player in college.
But remember the days of that, the days of pushing them players and us getting behind the play. I can remember Ivory Ladd's story. She's not even in the league no more. But I can remember her story. I remember why I watched her, and I can go down the list. Maya Moore, I can remember why I watched her, and all of the great college players. When it was, again, the game hasn't changed. The women's basketball game is the same. It's not like the game got boring, but we would watch Cheryl Swoops and Cynthia Cooper and them hoop. But we don't even know none of these players now to even watch them hoop. And so I think that's the big problem right there.
Hey, I wish an NBA player just keep it real and just say, man, y'all just suck. I wish like Damon Lillard, somebody just say it, man. Like y'all just suck.
But they don't suck. That's not true though. But that's
They
why.
honestly don't believe. They honestly don't believe. Here's the problem, right? Because going back, we see these bum ass.
You know what? You might be right.
We see these bum bad basketball AAU games get a lot of views. These high school games, bad basketball get a lot of views. So it ain't about how they play. Because listen, you can have it can be bad products, still can get views. Like I said, like Lamont mentioned before, Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor. Were that a great fight? No. It was still viewable, right? One of the most watched fight of all time. Ain't about this. Listen, it's about promotion at the end of the day. And if they have a story, and if they do what they would have to do to promote right, people going to tune in. It don't matter if it's a great product or not. It's some bad basketball. We see some bad finals in the NBA at times, right? We still watch. So what's that's an excuse. When it comes to being good.
Remember, we can tolerate the bad basketball in the NBA and because we can get behind the story. Like people who hate LeBron got behind the Miami Heat and Jimmy Butler. They had because they knew the game. Some people have a passion and hate for LeBron James, so much so that they will continue to watch. They just want to see the other team beat them. The NBA doesn't care about those narratives as long as you tune in to watch. But those narratives are real. Those are some of the things that make people watch. By us not even knowing who the GOATs of this league are, we can't even get behind y'all to that degree. We can't even hate on y'all best player. We can't even have an argument that Cynthia Cooper's the GOAT. Why are you saying Maya Moore's the GOAT? We can't even say this because we can't even have them arguments because y'all don't put y'all players out there. And y'all allow y'all best players to walk away from the game without putting up no resistance.
There's one thing that we are missing, not just promotion, it's their personality. Like when you hear they talk, it's very cringe. It's like they try to sound like men, like then sound like women. Like, you know what I mean? It's like when we talk about the Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor, reason why it was hyped up because their personality. They're entertaining. They're themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like these women, like these WNBA, try to act like they hard.
Well,
you know
I don't agree with that either because
I disagree.
Because some of the best looking women's athletes don't have they don't sound girly when you talk to them, but they be the baddest women on the planet. So I can't go with that. How they talk don't have nothing to do with it.
Yeah, you got a deep-seated hate for women, bro. This nigga sound like bitter.
You telling the truth? Me, I hate women. Seriously?
Nah, man, you ain't telling the truth. Man, a lot of them girls is real good. I guarantee you, if you put one of them girls, if you was to play one of them in the park, she'd get your ass.
Trash you. They would trash you.
Hey, I got but if I was trained,
I got Lisa. I got Lisa. I got Lisa Leslie and Candace Parker cooking Ticket TV. Fuck y'all talking about?
Nah, they won't beat Ticket. I can't even go there.
I'm going there.
No, I'm not. I wouldn't.
I'm going there. Hey, Lamar, you a troll earlier.
Hold on, what happened? What did I do?
Nah, you because of the Jordan pose. You see how niggas got triggered. I was just laughing.
The party picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Like that's the thing. A lot of these WNBA, a lot of these female basketball players can't hoop. Like a lot of these, which is another thing. How I think this is an idea for me for like when it comes to the promotion of them, like I don't know, playing rec leagues or something like that in the summertime. Like I don't know, do something in the off time to get out there. You know what I mean? They work out all year long anyway. Put it
I
on
look at
film
it.
or something.
I look at it like this,
Like
just like how like the NBA, like back in the days, like before Jordan and all them, like they was actually losing money, and they used Jordan to like market the NBA. The NBA, like the WNBA, like what's a player like right now that you could use to like market the WNBA as of right now?
But you know the
It
thing is
should
like
be
you
more and
know,
more, but they don't do
but
that.
here's the thing though about the NBA. At least the NBA tried to promote. But here's the thing: even though they was losing money, you know these people's stories on the NBA.
Yeah.
Even back then.
That's what I'm saying.
Like
That's
Dr. Dre and
well,
them.
hold on.
Even back in the day.
Remember when the NBA was struggling at the point where they were close to bankruptcy, they immediately brought in. They carried the story on from Bird and Magic from college,
Right?
And they made sure that story continued on in the NBA because they saw how just that storyline sold and made the NCAA basketball popping. They allowed that storyline to come into the NBA, and they kept it going. And that's what kept the league. See, the league didn't just keep going just because those two players came in. They kept going because the league pushed that story through the media. Bird versus Magic,
One of the most
Lakers
watched games
versus
of all
Celtics,
time.
all of
To
this.
this day.
Yeah, and so they carried
college.
it on. That's what saved the league. It was one of the greatest moves they ever made, but it was a marketing strategy that worked. When is the WNBA going to understand that? If we don't have, they're not emotionally. The fact that we can say that Ticket TV hates LeBron James is one of the reasons why the NBA is thriving. We don't have anybody to hate in the WNBA. Who do we hate in the WNBA?
I don't even know.
To be honest, it's like business
nobody's
one-on-one.
watching.
Everybody knows
Your
that.
old
Like,
boy hate the whole league. He don't like when women get together and do nothing.
hey, but nah, like
Oh,
for real, like business one-on-one is like you could have like the talent, you could perform, but you gotta advertise, you gotta market yourself, and you gotta promote yourself. In the WNBA, like they don't really, do a good job at that, and that's why. Because I mean,
it's not a good gambling sport.
Hey, Ray made a good point though. Hey, I did a WNBA FanDuel lineup, and I'm talking about I had some lady at the bottom of man, I'm talking about they be having random players just drop 30 people I don't know nothing about.
Yeah, that's true. But like it's going back. They don't care, man, and that translate on the court. That translate. They attitude translate on the court. Is that bouginess of they too big?
That's another thing too. That's
they can do anything they want. You know what I mean?
That's
So they made to the top.
I was just about to say that too.
Do y'all think that ESPN is reluctant to promote the WNBA because of their gay culture?
No. The WNBA
they would exploit that.
Hold
They
on.
would
Did you see?
exploit that.
Look, we just showed that video. Like one cool piece said, they have their own show. The ESPN has no problem with putting these women out there.
Right.
But these women
We just
actually
don't know who they are.
when they get that show, and this is the first time I've ever known that that's an actual show. I just thought ESPN got a group together and said start talking. And the only reason we knew that they was having that conversation is because they're just complaining about what Draymond Green said. That's
Lamar,
the worst part about it. Yo, what's up?
I don't want to, backtrack the Paul Pierce, but I just seen the post earlier. I want to, get y'all opinion on this. And it's no disrespect to no community or none of that. I'm just saying, I just want to ask y'all a question about what I seen earlier. So the post said, if Paul Pierce had a bunch of dudes on his IG live twerking, ESPN would have gave him a raise.
Jesus Christ. One at a time. If you had Lil Nas X on there with them devil shoes, he would have got a promotion at ESPN.
Hold on, finish the post. I want to hear what it said.
Or the post said it just said Paul Pierce had a bunch of dudes on his IG live twerking. ESPN would have called him brave and gave him a raise. What y'all think about that?
Oh yeah. If Lil Nas X was on there doing the busting challenge, he would have got a whole raise.
Hold on, now this is coming from the same organization that labeled a man as Woman of the Year.
Oh yeah,
that's true.
Oh yeah. Caitlyn Jenner.
Yeah.
Bruce, nigga.
Well, I mean, born a man. I gotta be politically correct. Born a man, he won a woman's award. So
they made a man a woman of the year, bro. Keep it simple.
that's ridiculous, man. But
Hey,
like,
I wasn't trying to. I'm just saying. I
He
thought that
still
was
had a dick.
interesting. I thought that was an interesting post. I just wanted to see what everybody had to say. I
but
wasn't
like,
trying to. You know what I'm saying?
it's just like, I
Hey,
don't
Hey, I
know.
hey,
think it's true. I think
The
it's
woman
true.
of the year has a dick,
But
bro.
yeah,
Let's
I
get
don't
back to
know,
the
man.
All
WNBA.
right, bro.
all
No,
right.
no, hold back.
Oh, hold on.
Speaking
We're
of that,
gonna.
hold on. Speaking of that, though, when was the last? Was a WNBA player ever Woman of the Year?
Yeah, Lisa
No,
Leslie
wait.
was.
How long ago was
Yeah.
that? Exactly. Like,
That's Lisa Leslie though. Like,
but still, though, like you try to tell me
Months
none of
ago,
these.
what's that?
Hold on, you try to tell me none of these WNBA players that have anything in their background had to do to overachieve and still play the NBA couldn't be recognized as Women Player of the Year? Like, come on,
so
that's what I'm talking
it's
about. It's a
it's
problem.
more
Like,
so people forget too. Like back in the day, Lisa Leslie was almost on a lot of shows too. Like she was more like honestly, I don't think a lot of WNBA women, majority of them definitely not are marketing themselves properly. To be honest with you,
Fact.
Hey
because the
man,
way
right.
Lisa Leslie
True.
got
That is
one of
true.
one of the
I
many things Lisa Leslie and
I just
also
think
what's I forgot Reggie Miller's older sister name, but like
Cheryl.
she
Yeah,
too
Joe
a bunch of
Miller.
like
Cheryl
guest
Miller?
shows and Cheryl, yeah. She was both like a bunch of guest shows, like doing music appearances, and a bunch of shit, and movies and TV shows. Like they was almost everywhere.
hey man, it's just
And
time
she
to
understood that. Man,
hey,
no, it's
it's just
Me.
because
time
that
to
got
give
Hold
these
lost.
on.
women
Hold on. Let Bees
equality.
go, y'all. Let Bees
It's
go.
just
Go ahead,
time
B.
to give them equality, dog. They want equality. It's time to give it to them, bro.
Oh, yeah.
So
I understand what you said about that
no,
too.
But hold
no.
on. But you know what's gonna happen when that happens?
What happened?
The league will probably fall apart.
No,
They
no.
gonna get
Nah, they just
criticized.
gonna keep
Here,
trying to take from the NBA.
no. Here's how you stop that shit, fellas. You say, okay, you want to be equal, so you don't do anything about the WNBA. You just say, okay, from this day forward, men ain't got to. You get divorced, men ain't got to pay you extra money because y'all the same. Men ain't got to do this. Men ain't got that shit will stop right there.
You put their ass through the Jordan rules
That's
and
what I'm
see how
saying.
they
See,
how they deal with them Jordan
you
rules.
take Juanita. No, you
man.
take Juanita Jordan, and she walked away with $300 million. She ain't never driven no basketball. Make them even. What you
Right.
bring? What did you bring to the relationship? Now you take your happy ass on because you equal. That's how you end this shit. I'm
Right.
just telling you.
Yeah, but piggyback
Shovel
on
your
that,
own
right?
snow
Hold on.
too.
But piggyback on being said, right? Let's okay. If you don't want to be equal, that's fine then. Okay. Y'all get criticized the same amount of criticism y'all take these NBA players take. They get way more criticism than the
Well,
WNBA players be getting.
the criticism is what comes with more notoriety.
But
Right.
let's keep it
Because
100.
nobody cares about it.
But here's the
Hold on.
thing though.
Let me ask you a question. Let's keep it 100 though. Like, let's say like how LeBron get hated, but like, can a WNBA player can they bear that on their shoulders?
Right. But here's the thing though, right?
No,
Yeah,
Kevin.
hey, but we're missing the point. The WNBA women can't do anything to change this. It don't matter how much they go out and they say and they do this or they do that. The problem is the NBA. The NBA doesn't see it as a moneymaker. They have been pumping money into this fucking league for over 20 years.
Forever.
And so the NBA, the owners of those teams are paying for these women to play. And so until they see that there's some actual money in it for them, they ain't gonna put any more investment in it. These women can cry to the cows come home.
So basically, NBA paying child support.
Well, what Bees is saying is correct. Hold on, what he's saying is correct, and this is why. Just look at the G League select team. The NBA sees an ability to make money there. This is why they're willing to go pay all those guys $500,000 a year, free college, whatever they need, just to play on that select team, because it ultimately can be profitable for them in the long run. As it stands right now, he's right about the NBA. They have no real motivation other than the so-called, equality to put money, to keep the money in this league. They'll keep it going at a bare minimum is what they're doing now. A lot of the NBA is doing a bare minimum to keep it going. But I mean, again, this is what I mean. If you got to start doing legwork for me to, let's say, if I want to get a major big time sponsorship for this channel, I got to show whoever that it's going to be worth it for them. I can't just be like, this is FYL Sports. Give me $100,000 for the sponsorship. I got to make. How is it going to be valuable to them? It's not valuable to them. So that's what I'm in. That's what it comes back to the legwork.
Yep.
By them not showing up to this show when we ask them to show up and talk about it, they don't want to go. I go to the smallest platforms, the biggest platforms right now. I don't care who you are. I'm gonna pull up on your show right now because I'm still got to do the legwork.
But the reason why they ain't gonna show up, Lamont, is that they ain't gonna see the fruits of their labor. If these girls get out and start to do what we're saying they need to do, they won't ever see that.
That's what I said.
It will be the next generation that sees it. But see, somebody's got to take the bullet.
Not to change the topic, but
I honestly think they're here right now. I think it's some of them in here right now. That's just listening, not involved in the chat.
Bro, they ain't in here.
I think it's a
they're
couple
not
of
in
them.
it because
I think it's a couple.
their ego's too fragile.
Most of them hoes carpet munchers. They ain't in here.
Hey, but not to change the topic, y'all, but I think they say DMX just died.
Yeah, that's what I'm.
What?
Wait, what?
For real?
Yeah, I'm on Twitter.
Hey, brother, he was dead the moment they picked him up.
No. It's not even just. It's close. People is like posting on their IG stories.
I'm saying he was dead the day they picked him up, bro.
That's true.
He was dead at that point. They had to put him on air. He lost too much oxygen.
Yeah, I'm saying it now. It say DMX has passed away at age 50.
Oh,
Damn, man.
Same thing that happened to my dad when his heart attack.
Damn.
What happens with the heart attacks?
What?
You lose oxygen to your brain for so long. So what they had to do, immediately they're going to put you in induced coma because they got to stop your brain from trying to do too much work. So the induced coma will slow everything down. Once they slow everything down, now they see based on how long your brain lost oxygen, now they have to see if you have any brain activity. So they did a test probably to see if he has any brain activity. And so they'll do a number of scans, tests, see if you can get you to react. They just need you to wake up and just interact on your own. That's all they look for to do. Yeah. But your body, if once they take you off that medicine that puts you in induced coma, if your body just doesn't naturally wake up and you become alert, that's an indicator. They'll do scans to see if you have brain activity. But once I heard the type of heart attack that he had, I said that almost sounds identical to what my dad just had last summer. And I knew it was gonna be a bad prognosis for him.
And condolences to his family, but this is probably the better ending because if he did come back, he wasn't gonna come back like you think.
Yeah, he would have been definitely different. Yeah,
man. Rest in peace, X, man.
Hey, brother, that's just another thing, man. These drugs, man. Hey, in the last 2 weeks, man, we done had 5 motherfuckers die from fentanyl around here, man. I mean, people just putting shit in their bodies with no regard for their. It don't make no sense.
No, don't, man. That's why I don't do shit, bro. I drink every now and then, but I don't fuck with nothing.
Only thing I smoke is weed, man. That's it, bro. That's it.
I think they say that's how he got but I think they said like he got hooked on,
he got laced. He was 13.
Yeah.
When his partners in crime laced his first blunt.
His OG, his OG did.
Yeah, it was an older cat in his hood. Tricked him into smoking a laced joint or whatever.
Yeah.
But watch all these little fake celebrities, posting, oh, he's a real one. Man, y'all didn't care about no DMX. Man.
Hold on, it's everybody's fault because I always talk about all the time how, I mean, we the ones support that culture. We make it profitable for them to do that, so they continue to do it. We promote those lifestyles. We promote the drugs in the song. If y'all didn't like drugs and songs, if y'all didn't like it killing people, then you wouldn't buy the music or listen to it or support it. But y'all still do. So at the end of the day, we support it. Again, it's sad to see anybody go, but let's act like we didn't look at him 5 years ago and be like, this was a real possibility. We all knew he was on drugs. Nobody wanted to say it. He didn't have no real friends around him to step in and really get him out of that because a real friend would have been honest with him. So I
Yeah,
mean,
but I'm
come on,
like,
man.
we don't even really know behind the scenes. 'Cause like you
And it
said,
don't matter. Hold on. DMX has been on drugs for the last 20
right,
years.
but like you said, but
Nothing
at the
new.
same
No,
time,
no,
hold up, but back
I'm
in the
not
day,
getting no
so
buts, no ifs, ands, or
hold
buts
on.
about it. No ifs,
Right,
ands, or buts
so it's
about it.
everybody else's fault that he's on that
No,
he's
I'm
taking up.
saying we promote the culture, right? And his friends around him, all yes men who, again, obviously somebody around him was giving him the drugs and doing drugs with him. So he had a whole bunch of people around him. Again, if it wasn't part of our culture, nobody would be doing it or care about it. But
People
we
been
don't have
doing
that type of
drugs,
culture.
right? But people been doing drugs for years. I'm
Yeah,
not
we
like
down. Hold on. No, they've been doing drugs for years, but now we're dealing with types of methamphetamines and fentanyl drugs that can drop you dead as soon as you touch it. It don't have to be a
Right.
bad batch of anything, right? So we
Yeah,
dealing
they
with a
can
new
still
level
make
type
That's
of
more
drug
of a
now.
new age
That's why I
thing
don't listen to
because
music.
back in the
Like this
'90s,
ain't
our
now. Remember when we
90s
talk about
era,
opiates? That used to be considered a white people drug. The opiates is no longer a
right,
white people drug. It's hella black people
right.
doing it
That's what I
too.
was about to
You know,
say. Like
so I
these
mean, we
dudes,
got black dudes on Sherm, black dudes on this lean. We been dying from
X,
lean.
got
Nobody
X pills,
talk
all
about the
that.
lean.
You
like
got
these
D-Wall.
Like
dudes
I said,
You
bragging
got
man.
about
you
using the
got
drugs.
Perk.
We bragged about selling them in the '90s.
No,
These
definitely
motherfuckers.
rest in peace. But really, that's a whole nother topic. We can talk about that all day. But the only way that's our actions there. Our actions got to change that. We can do,
that shit.
and that ain't gonna change overnight.
Yeah, he was only 50 years old too, man. He was still young, bro.
All right, so because how about this though? Let's see if people want to take action. Because I guarantee you this won't happen. The dope dealer that sold him that
Yeah,
fentanyl.
it's not. It ain't gonna stop.
Hold on. No. Let me say what I'm saying. How about y'all want to go do something about it? Go snitch on him and get him locked up. Because he shouldn't be out there selling that type of drug to the black community. So if you're not willing to do shit like that, shut the fuck up talking about it. I don't want to hear it. Because you really ain't going. You're really trying to be conducive to a real solution. Real solution would be getting the shit off the streets and then changing our whole mindset towards it. We still talk about your snitch culture and you support drug dealers. I don't want to hear the nonsense. You got. I don't want to hear it because when people talk about it, people ain't really about making no change.
Right, man. So it's crazy. Like they like I said, man. Like I don't know, man. Like they know he was on drugs for all that time, and it's like when he was hot, making music, making all that money, it didn't matter. You know what I
Somebody
mean?
said in the chat that he relapsed because he was off of it for 2 years. Yeah, there you go.
That's not.
Look, hold on. Look, I
You
saw.
don't know. You
Look,
don't
I
know. That's
literally.
not. No.
Look, I literally just saw a video of him probably like a month ago, like talking and interacting with people. And the first thing that I thought in my mind when I saw the way he was acting, talking, and moving, I said that motherfucker's still on drugs. I swear to God. Like, let's not be dumb to this shit. If you've been in the hood, you know what a motherfucker on drugs look like, move like, and talk like. You don't take a dummy. So for her, if she did say that, I don't want to hear that dumb shit because we all know that man was still on drugs. I don't care how you fucking slice it. He was on something. I don't care how you slice it, whatever you want to put it. Anybody who knows anybody that's been on drugs, you know that man was still doing something. You don't just be sober for 2 years and then jump straight to fentanyl.
Yeah,
that's
true. Man, I'm not trying to hear that, man.
Like I said, he was laced. He was doing coke all that like in a young age. He got laced when he was 13. When you do hard drugs like that, they don't lead up to other hard drugs.
Hold on,
I mean,
but look,
GA09.
Nah, I'm not saying that I don't.
No,
you don't recommend
hold on,
it. What I'm saying, all I'm saying is, look, if we really talking about a solution, let's get the drugs off the streets. Let's get the people moving the drugs off the streets. If y'all really want to do something about it, but ain't nobody really want to.
Jay. So
that's just it right there. Let's just be honest. Nobody wants to put their life on the line.
So GA Drip, hold on. GA Drip just made a great point right here. He says don't recommend it and this is the exact reason why ain't nothing gonna change. This is why we just got to say our rest in peace to him and just accept the fact that this shit ain't changing for a long ass time.
Yeah, but here's the problem with that, right? He said don't recommend it, dog. This snitch is out here.
Hold on. China made sure that motherfuckers don't sell drugs because now if you get caught selling just weed, you get the death penalty, and they don't. It's not like the U.S. It's not like the U.S. If you get the death penalty in China, you get executed the next day.
Yeah, that's the next day. Yep.
You don't sit in jail for years with an appeal.
Right.
So
they
the
get
thing
you
is,
out of there.
we can fix this shit. Like we can fix this shit if we really wanted to, but nobody really wants to the U.S. to be like, okay, if you sell dope, if you sell illegal drugs, execution the next day. Nobody really wants to deal with them repercussions. So
and that's for any amount of drug. That's a nickel bag. You get caught over there, boy, your ass out of there.
And they don't care if you Chinese, they don't care if you American, Canadian, they don't care. You can come over to that country. If they catch you with that shit, you getting the death penalty.
Yep.
Come on, man. But come on. I mean, that's how our culture is. We just a drug infested culture here in the US, and we try to hide it like we not. So a whole bunch of functional addicts walking around.
That's what it is.
But it's so crazy that we are a country of freedom. It's like it's that the most free country is the most crazy country. Like you look at other countries like China, communism. But when you notice that over them other countries, is that they know order. You know what I'm saying? That this country is just like, I want to do what I want to do, but don't want to set the consequences. You know what I mean? And I just
no, they don't. It's not like what they do is they have a heavy hand when it comes to. They have a no tolerance policy for certain things. We will tolerate certain things. Like even when we see. Even as a black community, when we sit here and see all of our, we watching these rappers die. Some of the greatest rappers have died to overdose. Our greatest musicians, actors, everybody we look up to. We see all these people dying due to drugs, but it still ain't stopped nobody from, because at the end of the day, we really not trying to make a real change.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because the reason why we're not trying to make a real change is because a lot of the people that have the power to make these changes, a lot of people that can go vote on these changes are probably doing a little something shady themselves behind the scene.
It's not even all that.
No, that's
too.
facts. No, that's facts.
That is like it's easy money.
Hold on,
And
it's hard to say. See, it's hard to tell somebody make selling weed or getting caught with it death penalty when you smoke at home behind closed doors.
Yeah, that's true.
Come on, man. Or cocaine.
True.
Same thing with cocaine and all these other drugs. Like it's hard to really try to make
but
these
nobody will ever
much
vote
worse.
for that type of shit. Nobody ever vote for
Why
that.
do you think they made crack cocaine laws real tough? White people know that they don't run around doing crack cocaine. They do. They don't do the crack. They just do the cocaine.
Right.
And the cocaine penalties was different than the crack penalties for the lawyers.
Right.
So white people knew we can dabble in cocaine. White people knew we dabble. Oh no, they said they know we dabble in cocaine, but we definitely don't dabble in crack. So we can give a motherfucker 90 years for the crack. But
they choose pick and choose.
We're gonna have a whole bunch. And the same thing was going on in Indiana with meth. All right, because you can get caught selling powder in Indiana. Most black dudes and a lot of black people was delving in powder and the hard drugs. But if you get caught with the meth, which is what's more commonly found, on farms and with crazy white people, they had all types of halfway houses and programs and meth and rehab programs. And if you just complete this program, we'll chop your sentence down. But they don't have that. So for the Indianapolis. So again, when you got to look at when we see nothing get done, it's probably because the people that can actually do something are delving into it themselves to a certain degree.
Or they just don't like. They don't like. It's like it's corrupt, man. Like they don't care. Like it's selfish, man. That's what it is. Like
man, it is. It ain't gonna change.
Money. People make money off of drugs. Is a $1 billion industry, man. I mean, it's a multi-billion-dollar industry. Yeah. I mean, when it comes to the pharmacies, to the streets.
Yeah, I agree, man.
Yeah, and I appreciate
that was a really good off-topic conversation, man. But like Don Nyman said, man, let's get back to these nappy head hoes.
Hey, I don't know though, but I see like some sources saying he's still alive, but some people saying he's dead.
But at the end of the day, whether and I know again, if
I ain't trying to report misinformation.
No, I'm saying if people put it out there that he passed, that's wrong. But I've seen this play out before. It's not looking good for him either way. Because I've seen a woman in the same situation. Her family kept her on life support for 3 years, and she ultimately did wake up, but she wasn't the same. She didn't remember nobody. She didn't know nothing. And it's just like, is it really worth it? Is it at the end of the day? So
and it's expensive.
It's definitely expensive, yeah. And you got to have money because the hospital with my dad, they were saying that they would fund the life support for 7 days. After 7 days, we got to pay for it out of pocket, or insurance has to pay for it. This is like then it just comes.
Yeah, he got a lot of kids. He got kids. I don't know. I mean, hopefully, he has some. He hope he has some money still left over, man. And he just
look. I'm not saying white people don't do crack, but the ratio of white people doing crack to black people, it was more black people in the crack epidemic. It was black people, more black people doing crack than and actually, it's not doing crack. It's the selling of crack. More black people sold crack than cocaine. So
it's cheaper,
that's
man.
why
Like,
it's different.
only poor white people smoke crack, man. To be honest with you.
I don't even want to get into that, man. It's stupid.
Yes,
Nobody care. Nobody really want to talk about it because again, some people in and even in the chat might have to admit that they dabble in it themselves, and ain't nobody really trying to expose their own habits.
Come on, hey man, Fred. What you got in your hand, Fred? Hey, you always behind something, Fred.
Nah,
Fred
he talking about Jared Thomas. That's what he talking
I know he probably I see you, Fred, over wearing them shades for a reason, man.
I see several people saying
Lamar know Fred. Fred Lamar be enabling his habits, man.
Oh man.
Hey, but nah, I see some people saying he's still alive, but so like I don't know.
Hey, if he is,
look Fred in chat. Look at Fred.
Hold on. I just wasn't trying to put out any misinformation. You know?
How do y'all do it that fast though?
Yo, that's funny. That's hilarious, dog.
That's crazy.
Yo, we're gonna find out who that dude is. That's hilarious, man. He said chill.
I think it's anti, man.
Hey, yo, that's anti. Be wild as anti.
I think it's anti. Because you see anti not in the chat, and that Ahmad dude ain't in here.
Right, but he commented before when anti was talking before though.
Nah,
or he must be doing a lot more taxes. He got to do a lot more taxes.
Probably KD's other burner account. You know, he got like 12.
Look, Fred, follow me on Twitter. Yeah, follow me back too, though, Fred. You out of pocket for that, man.
Yeah. Hey, I followed him on there. Whoever it is, I definitely follow him. That was funny. All right, so let's get off. Hey, as we can see, because I see what y'all did. Everybody put in work on Twitter going at the WNBA. None of the players pulled up to really talk about it. So
That's sad, man.
So again, if they decide to hit me up behind the scenes and they want to have another show and talk about it, I'll be more than willing to do it. But until then, again, this is one of the reasons why I can't really jump behind y'all movement for so-called equality when y'all don't even want to pull up and speak for yourself on these topics. So now we just can give rumors. Some of these people, some of us in here have channels and blogs where we can give our own thoughts. Y'all don't want to set the record straight and give us the facts about what's going on. So I can't continue to speak on it. We're going to move on. Draymond Green calls young NBA players soft as hell. He says they lack competitive spirit. I'm going to tell you exactly what he said. He said they soft as hell. He said, I found myself trying to talk shit to some of these young dudes that won't talk. He said, it's like they're trying to be your friend. That's what these young dudes do nowadays. I don't understand it. What do y'all think about young Draymond Green going at some of these young dudes and calling them soft?
I mean, I look at it like I think you said in the past, you call any nigga soft, like that's fighting words right there.
Yeah.
If he's soft all they want to, they still trying to drop 50 on your motherfucking ass.
Look at anti-line. Look at it. See, anti, that's not moral. Stop it.
He with his OnlyFans girl right now.
Yeah, that's not moral, anti. It's not moral.
Nigga, anti be feeding grapes to bust downs.
Man, I'm in my chick right now, man.
Hold on. Anti, you're going to have to turn the camera on and put one of them on camera one day.
Yo, that should be hilarious.
Nah, he ain't going to do that.
You just can't talk when you get technical for breathing wrong. What? What are you talking about? Who's Twizzy?
Can't talk when you get it. Oh, I think.
Okay. I got you.
He's talking about the fouls.
Yeah, he's talking about that. Yeah. No, they have been petty, but That's one thing that the media has been good about. They have been calling the refs out in the NBA for being super petty. So they have been calling it out. I don't see it carrying on for too much longer.
But I think I seen a rule. I think I seen a rule like a few days ago. Like they're gonna change the rules. So y'all know like how like Trae Young, James Harden, they do that little pump fake and then they go into the defender, and then I think they said they about to start calling that offensive foul. And then I think they also changing it like if you win one challenge, you get another challenge later on in the game.
You should.
Like,
or keep a challenge.
Yeah.
You should keep another challenge. You want a challenge, you want it. So it's like, you know what I mean? If you lose it, you lose a timeout. I mean,
like football.
Yeah.
But what y'all think about that whole pump fake? What y'all think about pump faking and jumping into a defender? Like I feel because like me, like first, like I'm 22, like I seen D Wade do it, but when D Wade was doing it, he'll pump fake there, jump into him. Then that's where he'll shoot it. James Harden, now like Trae Young, what he do is like he go off a pick and roll and he put his back into the defender. He just throw up a shot like that. Or like James Harden, like you barely got to touch him. He fought like.
Nah,
you're right.
Know.
I think it's corny to me.
Because I understand it's a good strategy, but I think like some people just abuse it.
To each his own. It's the skill.
Yeah.
Yeah, but some of the stuff that I see, like, and this really started happening towards the end when I was playing, was coming off the screen, somebody's chasing you, and as soon as you get it off like the DHO or the handoff, all you got to do is stop and just kind of throw yourself backwards into the defender that you know is chasing you.
Trae Young do.
Yeah, and then you can just throw up some bullshit and get a foul. It's just like, to me, I feel like them fouls is corny. I feel like if the offensive player goes out of his way, like in a non-basketball type of motion to create contact, then it's play on. Like, and the rules, by the way the NBA has these rules set up, is it forces the refs to call it. But
and another thing too, I don't see them really emphasizing that flopping rule. It was cool.
I don't really got a problem with flopping because I look at it like even with flopping, you still got to get a call. So you can flop all you want, but you got to like actually know how to flop. If you get what I'm trying to say.
Who you think the word flopper? I think LeBron.
Marcus Smart. Matter of fact, it was Manu Ginobili and all them who started that shit.
No, Vlade Divac was the first.
All of them. Michael Jordan used to flop all of them.
It's a skill. But they don't enforce the rule. That's what I have a problem with.
Bro, I done seen Marcus Smart like he flopping. That nigga, man.
This man be jumping backwards, but nobody touched this man. Out of bounds.
I remember he was at college. I think like they had the student section, like when he was shooting they free throw, they just flopped.
But look, I don't think Draymond Green is talking about the fouls though. That's because that's something the players can't control. He said they soft as hell. He says they lack competitive spirit.
I've always said that.
Now, when you trash talk, and I get what he means because he says he's trying to trash talk and he's engaging some of these guys, and he's saying these guys don't even come back at him or say nothing or turn up their game. Hold on. Well, sometimes let's not act like these games are silent. These guys are still talking hella trash on the court. Yeah. You ever been on the court? They're still talking crazy.
Yeah.
You can hear them cussing. In football, I think football this year, I think they had came out and they was like, because there wasn't no fans in the stadiums at first, that they was gonna find them, because they be out there cussing. With fans out there anyway, you can still hear them cussing.
I mean, everybody saw Montrezl Harrell call Luka a bitch ass white boy.
They be trying to turn up the volume on them fake games.
I can still hear it.
You hearing them cuss?
Yeah.
I'm like, I heard that.
Nah,
some of them mic'd up. So it's like
I feel like it's 50 because I understand where Draymond Green coming from, but I mean, I don't know because it's like if you in this area, if you trash talk, you get a technical foul. So some of them they ain't even they just trying to be quiet and just trying to, they ain't trying to get ejected.
Hey, bro, it's not about the era. It's about, do you affect the product? You got to remember, they got to sell this shit, bro.
Yeah.
They ain't just paying you to go out there to show you the ability. So if it gets too bad, it turns people off. People don't want their kids hearing that shit. So you got to kind of keep it to
You talking
certain
about the curse words or just like trash talking in general?
I'm
Because
just
I feel
talking
like,
about. I mean,
but I feel like trash talking that's actually gonna bring like more people in. Like it's gonna draw more
No,
attention.
not necessarily.
no,
Not
bro.
necessarily.
You
Not
you
necessarily.
got these games being shown with no fans, no sound. You hear everything.
Yep.
Never
That's
hear that stuff. You never hear that just from crowd noise most of the time. So you don't want to be putting that shit out over the TV.
Yep.
Somebody wants to talk with me. What are you talking about, bro?
What?
Niggas
This
trolling.
nigga here is looking for a fucking father figure.
Trolling, man. You ain't no WNBA player. Somebody wants to talk to you. Come on.
Somebody say Draymond Green lacks talent. Why he always talking?
Who said that?
The Grove Money, right above.
Yeah, don't.
At 11:34.
He just don't understand Draymond's game.
Hey, Grove Money probably works at.
They was playing.
Talking shit.
Hello, yeah, he want a father figure. That's why he in the chat. Get your goofy ass out of here, boy.
There you go.
Yeah, I don't know who he is. Man. I don't know. Hit the link if you want to come in, Hugo.
Like he said, Jordan started getting niggas ejected, crying to the refs. Hey yo, this chat funny as shit.
I mean, I like the cussing. It's organic, but I understand kids watch, so you gotta watch.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Cause it be funny.
I do it when I play, but if I'm sitting there watching with my 5-year-old there, I don't need her hearing that shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think kids.
I can respect that.
Some of the trash talking be trash anyway. Some like shoot like sometimes I ain't going.
They go out to eat afterwards. That's what makes it so funny.
But you can still trash talk and then still be cool off the court.
Yeah, like
That's what I think. That's where the misconception is, because I think that's what stopped happening. I think people be hyping up some of this stuff so much. So like some of y'all will really believe that some of these players who get into it with LeBron on the court actually hate him off the court. They all cool off the court, but it's still a level of competition that you gotta have.
The media,
because usually guys that are best friends on the court or best friends off the court are usually go at each other the toughest on the court. But we just don't see it.
But what if that's what Draymond was saying? Like he don't care about them being friends off the court, but it's on the court where they not separating the two. Like they coming to work still trying to be friendly with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What he's saying? Nobody's coming at him. Is that what he's saying?
He's saying when he goes at some of them, they don't go at him back.
Hey, but
That's
shit,
what
I
he's saying.
don't
We're talking about
know.
talking wise or just playing ball. That's what I'm trying to say.
Just playing ball.
Oh, okay.
when you have
he's right,
man. But here's the thing: when you have 6 points a game, 41% from the field, 26 from 3-point line, it's hard to talk. I ain't gonna hold you like.
I just don't believe that. I don't believe always because for me sometimes when I start going in a back and forth talking shit with somebody, it throws me off my game, and now I'm trash. And now you really gonna win that battle. I think like for me, I get trash talk and I just get silent. But for other people, it could be different. So I think trash talk is for each his own.
Yeah.
But
I could do both, man. It's like,
I feel like it just.
No, you can't hoop though, True.
Hey, chill out, man.
Hey, but I feel like
Chill out,
trash talk
man.
is
Hey, man. Why? Hey, summer. Hey, man.
That'd be like Goat Mike trash talking.
True in June. True in June.
I remember I was a kid.
True in June.
Deshaun Stevenson called LeBron overrated. So when the Cavs played the Wizards in the playoffs, everybody was watching. Everybody was all into it. So I think trash talking, it just bring more attention to it.
Yeah.
Like I could do both, man. It depends on how tactic. Depends who I'm playing, man. I mean,
I
gotta
don't
pick
know,
my
man.
spot.
I mean, they trash talking today, ain't they? I mean, there's trash talking going on, right?
Yeah.
It don't bring.
But I mean, it's competitive though. It's gonna be trash talking. So, I mean,
Hold on, y'all don't even know half the trash talk that's said. So why do y'all care?
Yeah, we don't even know.
Like,
that's what I'm saying.
I don't think with Deshaun Stevenson, I don't think that brought in more people to watch LeBron. It's the playoffs. People gonna watch LeBron.
I mean, yeah, but I'm saying you don't get what I'm trying to say.
Well, no, Jay-Z made a song about it and all that. We get where you're trying to go with it, but ultimately, I mean, it's always
it's faded out, but still.
Like even with Jordan, they say Jordan trash talk. Nobody really knows what he was saying. Y'all just hear stories about what other players said after the fact.
Because they said Kobe just laughed. And that's what I kept hearing.
Only time I heard Jordan say something when he said that the Kemba Mutombo he shot a free throw with his eyes closed.
I wanted to ask.
That's one time I heard him say something on the court.
I have a question for y'all. Why do y'all think it's okay for hockey players to have fights, but when it's the NBA,
because it's black? Because they black.
Well, that's
if they see a bunch of niggas fighting, come on now, you already know.
That's not true. And here's the thing: in hockey, they cut that down in hockey too.
They've taken it out of the game, Shay.
Yeah,
it still will happen, but it's been.
I know.
They've been slowly been trickling that down for a while. They ain't the same as used to. You notice. You used to see that all time at ESPN highlights, the fight and stuff like that.
What did I just hear? Did you hear that? Is that you, Lamont?
Yeah. That was crazy. I didn't hear that too.
With a big bang.
No, I'm about to play it on the screen. This is a funny one. I'm about to play it. This is funny.
I thought she logged into Pornhub.
No, remember remember that one challenge? Hold on, remember that one challenge with the dude? What's remember the lady doing the busted challenge, like dropping out the window or something?
But is that right?
Is what right?
What you're doing?
Is it moral?
You crazy.
Oh, this one's funny as hell, man. Y'all got to see this. That's funny as hell.
Let me find out y'all WNBA player got burner accounts in here, man.
Hold on, ain't even know. That's the crazy thing is WNBA players. It seems like they don't have enough clout. People don't even want to make the fake WNBA accounts to come troll.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Man, we got to get
no one really cares at the end of the day.
It's the fact that we don't care. Remember, we need to come. They need to come in here and address the fact that people don't. Why does so many people just not care?
Exactly.
That's the thing. Like until they want to come and address that, like they keep shying away from the real people with the real questions. They'll go.
Yeah,
like I said, I don't like that. I don't like that, man. Just go talk to us. We the ones that's gonna buy the tickets.
They don't want to ask the tough questions.
Hey, here's.
They don't want to answer them either.
Hey. They can't ask no. Hey, I ain't going to no WNBA game unless they got thongs on.
That's still, man. That's still, and people still, and people. You know what's crazy?
I'm sorry.
Hey, hold on, Bees.
You wrong for that.
Hold on, Bees. Is that moral?
No, it ain't moral. But I'm just telling you, it's because for me, I can watch high school girls, but it's hard to watch after high school. And that's just me, because when I watch the NBA and then the WNBA, there's a difference there. I watch women's golf. I watch women's sports. I'm not sexist. WNBA don't appeal to me.
And I will say this too. Skylar Diggins, right? Now I knew who she was in college and everything. Well, she went on this show called Wild 'N Out. The only thing I heard was, when she appeared on the show, oh, she's sexy. It's finally good to see, great to see how she looked outside of her uniform. I'm like, well, why would that? What about her play? What's going on with her on the court? What's up with that perception of that some of them want to see them, outside the uniform?
Hold on. Nobody wants to see her play. Or nobody's gonna care about her playing if we don't know or have any motivation to know, what is it? What is at stake here? Or who are you playing against? Is it a rivalry? What team are you on? Like, there's so much we don't know about what's going on. We don't know the story. We don't know why they're cheering for you. or whatever. The only thing that people know about Skylar Diggins right now is that she's a pretty basketball player.
Exactly. That's my problem.
But she didn't help out her cause when she was all on there twerking and shit.
Shay, let's just keep it real, right? You're a female, right?
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah.
You walk in a room full of men, what they do?
I already know.
You get the pork chop treatment. You get the pork chop treatment.
And it don't matter where you go, they gonna do that, right?
Yep.
White, black, green, yellow, orange.
Don't
They're
matter.
gonna look at you from a sexual point of view first. Is that not true?
Yep, that's true.
And so
I think they
the WNBA, they got to use that to their advantage. Just like WWF, just like UFC.
Hey, WNBA players just need to make an OnlyFans. Fuck it.
No, I mean, all right, bro.
You're wrong.
You probably got a couple OnlyFans subscriptions. So
Hold on, y'all. Hold on, y'all. Hey.
Oh.
Hey, 10 minutes ago, DMX's manager just posted. He said DMX manager confirms the rapper is still alive. Keep fighting, X.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Some of them could do some of them could do OnlyFans. Ain't nobody trying to see Brittany Griner on no fucking OnlyFans, bro.
Hold on. I guarantee you some people will be buying it. I guarantee you some crazy people.
Hey
will buy
man,
it.
you'd be surprised about these men and their fetishes.
Right.
That's unacceptable there. You need to
hey,
slap
they
yourself
all
to sleep.
need love, Khalil.
Hey, that's a fact. That's a fact. But goddammit, I ain't trying to look at that.
Hey, one cool P. What do you think about what I said?
About what? This lady in this only account?
No, I ain't about all. I don't know.
She said an only account.
Yeah.
Only account.
I ain't doing that. That's money. No, I'm just saying. Do they need to actually use a little sexism to sell more?
That's a hard question, man, because some of them be out there looking like dudes anyway. So what the hell?
That's a scientific fact.
Yeah, but you know the crazy thing is though, even as you do that,
and then you think about it, how many of them are, dating women, married to women, got wives, things like that openly. So how are you going to sell a sexual being that doesn't look at herself as I'm sexy to a man, but you know what I'm saying? Unless you're gonna target more of these more women that have manly thoughts. I don't know. It's a bunch of them out there. I saw a couple of games and I was like, well, damn, yeah, she butchy, she lipstick.
Well, if you go sit courtside of a WNBA game, that's courtside. That's it. I felt out of place when I went.
Right.
I felt out of place. And it was just me and my girl. Was sitting courtside. That's all that's around you, and it's just like, okay, so this is their primary fan base now. There's a limited market if that's what you're angling for. But I think that's the wrong path to go down. If that's what you're trying to do,
that's the wrong place to take your girlfriend.
I really don't think that it's a good idea for them to try to market the sexuality of these women, because some of these women, like I say, you got so many variant of lesbian and gay lovers when it comes to women. So I don't think it would work. I don't think the marketing their sexuality would work.
I don't think so too. I think selling the stories just the same as we saw with. I mean, if you go back and look at Ivory Latta, I mean, I'm not going to say she was ugly. She was probably a decent looking women's player, but we weren't looking at her because the only thing when we saw Ivory Latta, we thought about a really good basketball player and some really good games.
Yep.
We didn't really just automatically. And same with Maya Moore. Even though Maya Moore's pretty off the court, when we watched those UConn games, we were wanting to see her hoop. That's because we knew her story. We knew the rivalries. We knew what they were trying to do. They was undefeated, trying to be one of the greatest teams of all time. And think back on all the great women's basketball players that we still remember. And it's usually some type of story or something following that we can attach it to. These players now, there's no story. There's nothing to attach it to. None at all. Right. And it usually dies when they get to college. What's up?
Because the story has to start at some point, like in high school. So does it get lost during college?
Lost in college. Yeah, definitely lost in college.
Well, now that they have the college where these sports players, these athletes can market themselves or, make money off of their name, their likenesses and such. Maybe they should take an active participation, like we've been saying all damn night long.
That's what
They
I
should take
said.
an active
Yeah.
participation in finding a way to market their own selves. I mean, look, like you said, YouTube is an excellent platform. Podcast is an excellent platform. Get out
Yeah,
there and get in it.
if they did a show like this where you had like a Skylar Diggins or one of the more popular ones, and they was to just invite random people that's in their chat on the panel and just talk shit, you know how fast that shit'll blow up?
Yeah, but they won't. Just like I don't think any one of them, even the ones that we saw on that show, there's no way that we can get all 4 of those women on this show right here, and they have to go up in the fire against not just us on the panel, but you got everybody in the chat too, really contesting everything that there's like you can't say any bullshit live like this because you got 30 people in the chat Googling what you say, fact checking everything you say, doubling down. You say, like, if we say anything wrong, somebody about to correct you within seconds. And so they can't come over here talking that equality bullshit because we gonna come up with examples and all this to shut it down. We gonna really make them answer the questions, get to the reality of it. And the fact that they're not willing to do any legwork, and to me, it feels like they're just asking for handouts. That's what it feels like. That's what it's starting to look like too. When I don't see any of them actively really taking a stance as far as building up the WNBA brand by maybe participating in conversations like this, where we want to have their voice here, but they don't want to give it to us. Remember, they're big time. They want to be big time. They want to big time all the little people. Well, that's what's going to continue to happen. Right now, they're the walking around campus with the gear on, acting, they're on the team, but they ain't getting in the game no time soon. That's just a fact. They was just like me. That's what I would do. Facts. Podcast. Even if they had a podcast, it wouldn't matter. If they don't open the forum up, if they try to censor their content, and they don't give multiple people a voice, it's not going to matter.
Right.
All right. I mean, if nobody wants to hear them just continuously say the same shit that they're saying on ESPN, open the conversation up to everybody. All right. They're going to try to get together a little group on ESPN and try to pick apart what Draymond Green said, but they don't want to pick that conversation apart in a panel like this, especially a panel that's not as censored as ESPN. A lot of them don't want to have that conversation publicly. They
better have a disconnect button ready, because somebody's gonna come in there in that chat room and say some lewd comment that's gonna really piss them off one way or the other, and that's just the way things like that go.
Okay, had go Mike, that motherfucker stuttering and shit.
But look, it's ways to mute people. It's ways to kick people out. Like if they don't go out of their way to say anything crazy, it's not gonna fall on them. And they know how to kick people out and censor. They can still censor stuff that gets too crazy. But if you're not allowing the common people in to really give you backlight, be like, this is how we feel as the masses. Y'all keep trying to talk about we should watch, and if it's on TV, I don't care if you put it on every ESPN network right now. Nobody's watching. And the question is why. Like you keep talking about viewership. I can watch any WNBA game I want to right now. They're all on YouTube. I'm not going into my search, typing in WNBA games, this team versus that team. For one, I don't even know the team names or players or anything. So come on, that's a problem. They don't want to address the reality of it.
Yep.
Speaking, I just walked through because I had the masses on. They just had a commercial for the draft. That's the first WNBA thing I've seen this year. Why
did they try to push the draft when we don't even know half the players that's in the thing?
Yeah, I know.
Like, why amongst it? Like I said, the NBA draft gets boring in the second round. Why does the second round get boring? Because we don't know half them motherfuckers in the second round.
And if the NBA draft is boring, period. I like watching the NFL draft.
It is. No, the NFL draft is cool for like the first 3 rounds because we know those names. After that shit's dumb as hell. Ain't nobody. That's why they carried on to the next day. Nobody. Why? This is why the commissioner leave after so long. He ain't trying to read off these random names. Come on, man.
They be picking niggas at 3 in the morning.
But we supposed to sit there and watch the WNBA draft. We should. You know what? Hold on. This is what we're gonna do when the WNBA draft come on. We can probably have a contest. Who is this person? Like where she from? Like guess where she went to college or something. We don't know these people. Well, we don't know him at all, man.
I'd rather watch paint dry than watch that shit.
You talking about players? Come on, man. And it's like one P. Cool said, they're not motivating the men that just want to be perverts and look at it because they look good. They can't look at it. The basketball heads don't want to watch it because we don't know no rivalries. We don't have no GOATs to talk about. None of that. We don't know the MVPs. You know, the young people don't want to talk about it because it ain't no dunks. It ain't no flashy highlights. Like, they just losing all around, but they don't want to address the reality of it. You know, hopefully once they address it, maybe it takes more teams going bankrupt. If more teams go bankrupt, maybe that'll open their eyes up to it. It's like teams got to go bankrupt for them to be like, oh, damn, they really didn't have no money.
Shoot, they're not going to address it because they had the chance to today. But they just skipped over Draymond Green's entire point and try to change the narrative.
Facts. Hold on, says somebody mentioned me in the comment. Let's see if we got somebody. I doubt it though.
Oladipo got hurt again.
That's not surprising.
Not surprising at all.
What's that?
Oladipo got hurt.
Yeah, he went up. He dunked it and then he came down funny, so he went out.
Yeah, well, at least they got him.
Hey, how did Lakers play them that close, bro?
Shit, the Lakers was balling. Taylor Horton-Tucker was balling from what I saw. Yeah, like 26 points.
He was suspended tonight.
I mean, not Horton-Tucker, but the other guy, KCP. I meant that's what.
Oh, that because Kuzma was out too, right? So I thought they beat the line went up to 9.5. I was like, yeah, fuck that.
They lost by 6, so they was hanging tough,
The
man.
Lakers lost.
Yeah,
they lost.
Man, they depleted. Drummond had a good game and then limited. They had him on minutes restriction, but he still had like 15 and 13 or something like that.
Yeah, if they can get KCP playing well, they gonna be a problem.
Okay, somebody just said he dropped 28. Yeah, from what I ain't see the whole thing, but some of the game I was watching, he was hooping. Finally.
Apparently, Wesley Matthews was too. Wesley Matthews, he had 14.
I always thought Wesley. I thought they misused him. He's been a starter his whole time, and you throw him in this bench role, and just ain't worked out. When KCP been struggling, I know you do, but I would rather see Wesley Matthews start.
Yeah, I get why you start the season with KCP starting, but once he started playing bad, you had no reason to keep him starting.
Right.
None at all. He was playing bad for real.
Wesley Snipes.
McLemore need to shake off that rust because he ain't do too hot tonight in his limited time. They got the Brooklyn Nets on Saturday, so that's another L.
Being McLemore though is, do y'all think Kansas players really are successful in the NBA as far as star quality, like all-star,
Paul Pierce.
What you
trying to Paul Pierce, and then you had Wilt Chamberlain. So that's true.
No, Brad Doherty was a beast, but he got hurt.
Y'all went back like 35 years.
That's one every 30 years. No, he beast. Right, Brad Doherty was a beast, man. He just, he was hurt a lot, man.
Hold on, didn't Embiid go to Kansas?
Yeah. Oh, he did. Yeah, he did.
I'm gonna tell y'all something because I'm from Kansas City, not Kansas though. I'm on the Missouri side.
Oh, okay.
The way they hype that team up, it irritates me because I already be knowing when them guys go to the NBA, the hype that they put around them, I'm like, nah, some of them not gonna be that good. And Ben McLemore was one of them. I remember I was so annoyed. They were like, oh, he's gonna be this and that. I'm like, no, he's not gonna do none of that.
Andrew Wiggins, another one.
Yep.
And Kelly Oubre too.
Bad players, but oh my god!
So I don't think Kelly Oubre went to Kansas.
Yeah, he went to Kansas.
Yeah, I get annoyed. I'm like, y'all still support them in the NBA? Y'all see what they do, and then they be like, oh, I don't watch the NBA. I'll just watch them in college.
Yeah, but I mean, what they all stayed in the league though, right?
Yeah,
but it's like the expectations that they had coming in.
That's my thing, the expectation.
But I don't know. It was one player who they hyped up coming out when he was coming out was Jabari Parker. Like, man,
He's some good.
they were saying this was gonna be better than Jordan, LeBron. They were saying he's gonna be the GOAT. And I don't know what the fuck
Hold
happened.
on, but you got to look at Jabari Parker. A lot of these players, the projections be dead on. Like the projection with Wiggins was dead on. It's just once you get to the league and you get around all the women and money, do you keep working as hard as you can? And the thing is, some of these guys stop working. Jabari Parker, he's super talented. He had the potential to be one of the best in this league. But you can tell the guys that come in and keep working and the guys that don't. He stopped. Look at Wiggins. Remember when he was in Minnesota, they talked about his drive the whole time. Remember the owner had to have a private meeting with him. But are you going to turn up? Are you actually going to play before we give you this money? They ultimately did because they couldn't lose him. But it's just like some of these guys just lose that extra motivation to keep working hard. And it's hard. When you got $30 million in the bank, it's hard to continuously, I'm not going to the gym today. Fuck that.
Right.
Like it's easy to say that. It's easy.
It's the Marcus Russell effect.
Man.
It's just hard. I mean, it's just human nature too. It's hard to to do what LeBron's doing for this long, to work that hard still. Normally players his age stop working hard. They start looking like Jared Dudley.
Or
that's
Shaq.
just a common thing. That too. But that's what money does. When you get older, you don't want to do all that extra stuff.
Shaq was.
I mean, the best comparison is Carmelo Anthony. Just look at the two.
That too. And they came in at the same time.
I want to get an understanding on Carmelo Anthony. Now, I understand that as far as basketball Hall of Fame goes, I look at the whole career. But to me, as far as the NBA side, I think he's underachieved. And when people say, I remember, I think it was Stephen A. maybe a couple of years ago was like, he's in the Hall of Fame just because of his Team USA rings. And I don't agree with that per se, because I'm like, they were supposed to dominate. The US in terms of basketball have better basketball players. Well, more skilled and athletic, I would say. More athletic, though.
Well, you shouldn't listen to Stephen A. when it comes to anything about Carmelo because he's too emotional. I mean, it's too emotional when it comes to Carmelo.
Yeah, I feel like when it comes to Carmelo, like he'll be a great player overseas because, like, you look at overseas, they like more shooting and about playing outside the basket, whereas the NBA is more about being athletic. That's why, like, he was able.
They're just too good for him right now.
That's why he was able. Like, I'll be honest, like he was playing better than LeBron in the Olympics because the game changes.
Yeah.
Look, now I don't care about what you do in the Olympics. Jimmy Fredette going overseas, averaging 40 a game. I'm not trying to hear that. Overseas game ain't nothing like that. I'm not trying to hear it. Look, they be running around talking about, they talking about, who was it they were talking about? They were talking about some player, he got a gold medal. Well, that gold medal ain't shit.
Now,
come on, man.
I will say when it comes to sports that Black people ain't really dominant in, like baseball and soccer, I'm gonna celebrate those and but with basketball, like I'm not expecting y'all to lose. Y'all better go out there and win.
Hold on, he said Jimmy for that was averaging 40. Hold on,
Go look at what he's. Hold on, all of these.
I'm looking at it right now.
All of these guys that come fresh out of the NBA and go overseas. Look at what Lance Stephen was doing.
Oh yeah,
I'm talking about these guys go over there putting up major numbers. And then we be talking about. Then we be talking about. We be talking about Jordan won a gold medal. Like they be playing Angola and stuff. Like Angola, man. I'm talking about Angola. Come on, man.
We can beat Angola on this panel right now.
Thanks.
I mean, what's crazy is there any player from the 2003 draft in the league playing other than Carmelo right now?
LeBron.
Him and LeBron.
Just him and LeBron.
I think the last one was Kyle Korver, and he out of there. So
he bowed out quietly.
That's why when people talk that longevity, when they try to use that as a knock against LeBron, it's laughable because it's like, dude, look at the draft and all of the players that's gone, and he's still operating at a high level. Like, can't use that longevity stat.
Damn, I didn't even know Boris Diaw was in that draft. He was. He's definitely gone. Barbosa gone. Perk been gone.
Yep.
Some of these names I don't even know if y'all know. Some of these Steve Blake been gone.
Oh,
Steve Blake was trash. He used to play for the Lakers.
He played for the
He played for a bunch of teams.
University of Maryland.
All in the way on any team he played on.
Yeah, all the motherfuckers gone. Lamont is just LeBron and Melo.
Really, LeBron.
So really, Melo's fall off is actually not as bad.
Nope.
When you compare it to LeBron, it looks bad, but if you compare it to everybody else, it's good.
Because he's still standing.
We had Josh Howard in that draft too.
Hey, y'all can't talk about Steve Blake. Y'all can't talk about Steve Blake either, man.
Why?
He one of the coaches you used to work with.
Hey,
he work on the staff out here. Y'all can't talk about Blake.
Okay.
Hey, I just know that Steve Blake used to cook with the University of Maryland. That's what I know.
Yeah, he was good.
Nah, he wasn't. He was getting carried by Juan Dixon.
Yeah, Juan Dixon. Yeah. Juan Dixon was like that in college.
Yeah,
I was like, what, 4 years old when they won the championship?
Lamont just said, don't talk about him, but you just said he got carried.
He did.
Hold on. He said, hold on.
But hold on. Well, this is stuff we joke about anyway. I say this anyway. Like when there's certain players that have major fuck ups in the tournament, we talk about it. But yeah, Steve Blake, no.
Okay. Thank you.
What up, y'all?
What up?
What's up?
Hey, I heard we was talking about Melo and shit. I had to jump in on this.
Oh, shit.
What you came in to be a public defender?
I'm about to tell the truth about Melo, man. This man underachieved big time. He one of the most biggest underachievers of all time. He chose the bag over winning, and he chose the numbers over winning too. Chauncey Billups came out and said Melo value having a 30-point game versus winning the game. Melo out here demanded to go to New York instead of going to the offseason and waiting like a couple of months. He got to half the team traded just to go over there and made it weaker than what it could have been. He kind of went to Chicago in 2014 when they traded Luol Deng to Cleveland. Like Melo had too many opportunities. I don't want to hear nothing about this man. You know,
we wasn't saying nothing good. I mean, we were just talking about the longevity, and them two are the only two left from that draft.
So do you
think Melo was just off the league? He was out the league 2 years ago when Houston didn't want him.
Hold on. You got Lachansky Jones said, "Stop crying." LeBron took charge of his own career. Men do what they want. Boys do what they can.
Melo took.
Sorry, Project Pat. Thanks for that update.
He do look like Project Pat. Damn, he do look like Project Pat. Yeah. Yeah, without the dreads. Oh yeah.
Hey, you do realize Melo's supposed to link up with LeBron and D Wade in Miami, right, bro?
No, he wanted to get it out the mud.
I'm talking about this. He said he took charge of his own career. Why? Staying in Denver and then asking out for a year later?
No, bro. It wasn't that he just wanted the bag, bro. You don't read Melo wrong.
No, he said he liked the team. He said that.
Yeah. Lala wanted to go to New York. That's why he went to New York.
Yep.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah, because he
TRL and all that shit.
Yep.
He said Kobe recruited him and told him to come to the Lakers, but he said, "No, I think the team I got in Denver with J.R. Smith and all them other dudes, we could get the chip one of these years." That's why he said he didn't want to go to Miami with D Wade and LeBron, because he said he wanted the bag, but he also thought that team was good enough to win a championship.
He could have never thought that shit.
He definitely should have made it out the first round more than once for Denver.
Hold on, they didn't make it out the first round at all, did they?
No, they made it once. They made it to the conference finals.
They made it to the Western Conference Finals the year Kobe won against Orlando.
That was the only time he made it out the first round.
He's talking about with the Knicks. He's talking about with the Knicks, not the
He could have never thought the Knicks was going to win when you had the Celtics and all them that was better than that.
And they had David Lee and all them.
The year they were supposed to go, though, they let the Pacers beat them, though.
Yeah, I thought they was going to give them a problem, man. I like that New York Knicks team with J.R. Smith, Tyson Chandler, Jason Kidd, Amari. I like that team. That's what I'm saying.
Amari stayed hurt a lot.
Yeah.
He did.
I mean, it was a decent squad, man, but ultimately Melo just not a leader, so he wasn't going to lead that team to nothing.
And it's crazy because I liked Carmelo when he was in Denver, but when he got to New York and he left a bad taste in my mouth.
Like I'll give you a perfect example. When
Hold on. Y'all just let her get a pass on that. If
What?
anybody else would have said that, y'all would have been yelling out.
What she said?
He's a bad taste in my mouth. That's what she said. I already know.
Yeah, but she a woman though, LeBron.
Nah,
she a female. She a female though.
She got to get the same jokes as everybody else. Y'all can't be blasting everybody else, man.
Nah, the dudes on here be saying some real suspect stuff though. You know that,
We'll
Lamar.
let her slide. We'll let her slide.
Melo LeBron took Mozgov and JR and Shumpert and went to the finals.
Hey, this dude Mingo Jester, he always come in the chat hating on LeBron.
Oh, that's
LeBron, bro, I swear.
That's Glenn Davis right there. That's Big Baby Miller. Put him up on the thing. He looks just like Baby Glenn Davis.
What are you talking about?
Mingo Jester. He pop out of nowhere anytime somebody talk about LeBron, bro.
Put him on the screen.
Hold on, where's he at? Oh, there he is. Oh yeah, he do look like that.
Look at Glenn Davis. Him and what's the other cat name that be hating on LeBron? Like y'all was in here talking about something the other day, and he just completely went into LeBron hate mode.
Jared Thomas.
Jared Thomas.
Man, a troll, man. That dude a whole troll, bro. We was talking about the Paul Pierce situation. This man come on here talking about LeBron 4 and 10 out of nowhere. Out of nowhere. We talk about Paul Pierce. This man talk about LeBron 4 and 10 in the finals though. Niggas ain't said shit about LeBron.
Some people just like that, man. There's a lot of people from Cleveland that's like that. That just
what's it, Mr. Winners? What's his name?
Mr. Winners. It's a whole bunch of Mr. Winners. You go into some of these barbershops here in Cleveland, you will see a whole bunch of Mr. Winners in there talking shit about him.
And that dude brought Cleveland the only championship. That shit crazy to me.
Dude, I had a lady, I swear this happened the day after the Cavs won the championship. She was in there shitting. I had on my LeBron jersey, so we hit the door. She automatically off the gate talking shit about LeBron. But then she got to bragging about how she sold all these shirts and hats and shit when they won. So I tell her dumbass, like, if LeBron don't come back and win, you don't sell none of those shirts and hats and shit. Fucking idiot.
That shit crazy.
Like people just they get blinded by hate, man. Like
she didn't have to do that shit, to be honest, too, though. He could have went anywhere else. He could have stayed in Miami and shit. And you know,
especially after that letter. Shit, his mother didn't want him to come back, and she hated when he came back.
Mm-hmm. I'm not even from Cleveland, but even I understand how big that win for y'all was.
Shit was huge, man. Like the city tour, they turned up, man. Like it was way more than 1 million people.
And to be honest, like y'all could say, "Oh, I'm being biased because I'm a LeBron fan," but I feel like that's the best championship ever won.
For real, man. Yeah.
This by
that's the most. It got the most significant value when you look at the historic.
He beat the best team in NBA history of 73-19. That's the Cavs' first championship. He came back from a 3-1 lead. It's just so much.
That's like a story that you can't write, man. Like this dude from Ohio came back to the city that he felt like he could have won with. He came back about the championship.
They was calling him washed up too.
3-1 against the 73-9 Golden State Warriors. You can't paint no picture better than that.
It was Colin Cowherd in the like I think right when the Warriors they went up 3-1, he was like, "Oh yeah, LeBron done. He's washed up. He's no longer
they
good
was man.
Blah blah blah."
Hold on, how can somebody who consistently gets to the finals be washed up? I don't care if you win it or not. Getting there is a journey too. Because I was looking at a comment in the chat. Dude named Dat52. He says, "If on a test you get 4 out of 10 right, did you pass?" And it's not 4 out of 10 because what you also have to count is, did they pass the test in the first round? That's 7 games. Second round, another 7 games. The conference finals, that's another 5 to 7 games, whatever you play. And then you have to go to the finals. And then you have to play the best team from the other side and hopefully beat them. And so, like, people forget, like, he's done a lot of stuff in the playoffs just in general. He's brought a lot of teams to the playoffs that shouldn't even have been there.
Yeah,
now these niggas capping in the chat saying that shit was overrated.
It wasn't. No, it wasn't. I remember when they had the big screen right outside the Cavs stadium because it was on the road. Game 7 was on the road, so they put out the jumbotron in the middle of the like right where the Cavs stadium is. And when LeBron made that fucking block, the energy, like you can literally feel the energy of people like celebrating and shit. Then Kyrie hit that shot. Like, I don't give a fuck about none of these motherfuckers, what they got to say. I was down there. I felt that shit. When you feel that shit, when your team you've been supporting your whole life finally win a championship, the energy that went into that shit. Like I'll never forget that shit for the rest of my life. I can care less about motherfuckers like Mingle Gesture and all these dudes. They don't mean shit to
boy
me.
and shit.
How did you feel about the Cleveland Browns making the playoffs? I was happy.
I mean, it's cool. Like I like the Browns, but like I'm more of a Green Bay Packers fan because I used to live in Green Bay. So like I really attached myself to them as a kid and shit. So because I was a real big fan of Reggie White and Brett Favre. So like that's always been like my childhood team. But I mean, the Browns is cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if they do win, like, Cleveland is more of a football town. So, like, if the Browns win, they gonna tear this bitch up. Like, I'm leaving. I'm not gonna stay around. If they win a Super Bowl, I'm out of here because they gonna need the National Guard to stop that shit. You know what I'm saying? But
some dude in the chat talking about some Draymond Green doesn't get suspended. There is no game.
Who cares about shoulda, coulda, woulda?
Games
Who cares about
for
that
5,
shit?
6, and 7. What y'all
It
talking
happened
about?
though. It don't.
Fuck is
It
y'all
honestly
talking
don't
about?
matter.
The
The
man
point
never
is
came
that
back.
to walk anybody down from 3-1, I don't care who's hurt. That's tough. And to do it in the finals.
And then
it's
these
crazy.
niggas said that they only won because Iggy and Andrew
Man, that
Bogut
shit
got
though,
hurt.
because I can say
LeBron
in 15, if what's the name of them don't get hurt, we probably win that.
They
So
wouldn't
like
even
you
have
can
no
always
dynasty.
say that. Like it's always a injury. Like injuries always happen. Like you can't use that as a reason why this team won or didn't win. Like it's a lot of Toronto fans. You think those fans care that Kevin Durant and Klay Thompson got hurt? That's their first championship they'll probably ever see again. They don't give a fuck about that shit. All they know is they in the record books as a fucking champion. That's all the Toronto fans care about. They don't give a fuck about all this. If this dude was in there, and they don't care about that shit, man. Like Cleveland don't care about that dude. We ain't seen a championship since Jim Brown. You think we care about Iggy back getting hurt and Draymond getting suspended the game? We don't give a fuck about that shit. All we know is that we won a ring. That's all that matters.
Hey, y'all
Period.
gonna say that shit about LeBron playing against an injured Andrew Bogut, injured Iguodala? Say that shit about Kyrie and Kevin Love. If Kyrie don't go down, we don't need no Kevin Love. If Kyrie went down, they was gonna win the championship. Just give me LeBron and Kyrie because LeBron took them to game 6, and Kevin Love only averaged like 8 points in the finals anyway. So just give me Kyrie and LeBron. Y'all, they being Golden State in 5 or 6, the other way around.
Yeah, man. I mean, at the end of the day, man, injuries happen. That's a part of sports.
Exactly.
You
We
know
can
what I'm
go
saying?
back to Kobe and Michael. Magic Johnson came on First Take and said that when Michael won the championship off them, what's his name? James Worthy
was hurt.
But you don't see Magic Johnson out here saying, "Oh, well, we
Nobody
got one and
said.
shit."
Nobody talk about that. Nobody mentioned that. Isaiah Thomas, he got hurt that season when Michael Jordan finally beat him. Nobody say that, but
or even when he was playing against Orlando, when he lost and then he came back, Horace Grant got hurt. You know what I'm saying? So like they swept him, but you don't hear it because ultimately it don't matter. Like it's just people using those talking points to make themselves feel better. Like, you know what I'm saying? But like ultimately LeBron is one of the greats. No matter where you put him, he's still one of the greatest players ever. Period. Like it don't matter if people think because you don't have him number 1 that somehow he trash. Like that don't mean shit. Okay, he could be number 2, number 3, number 4, however you got him in the pecking order. But you have to put him there. And people use this longevity argument as if that's like a crutch against LeBron. LeBron was the first person to 10,000. He was the youngest to 20,000. He was the youngest to 30,000. So there go your fucking longevity argument. If he the youngest to do this shit, how do your longevity argument stand up? It don't make sense. You know what I'm saying?
Now they saying he playing for stats, saying that he trying to pass.
He can play for stats. Like it don't matter. He right there. Like if you on the
cusp to get 40,000.
I literally remember our college coach saying, "Go play for stats. Go play for them. Just as long as you do it within this concept of whatever system we run."
He's winning too.
He's supposed to do that.
If you at the precipice of getting 40,000 points with 10,000 rebounds and 10,000 assists, which has never been done before, you shoot for that. I heard LeBron talk about how when he play every game because he don't know when his last game gonna be. Like this is only life. Like you only get one life. Like LeBron gonna be known 100 years from now, motherfuckers gonna still be talking about him. So who gives a fuck what these dudes think and about him going for these stats? You put yourself in position to get those stats, go for him. You know
And
what I'm
niggas
saying?
Like
niggas
when
like
people bring up this
KD.
whole stat pattern argument, I just be like, I mean, if you don't want
That's all
somebody to
Skip
score,
Bayless, man. It's
if you
all
don't
Skip
want
Bayless.
somebody to score, then play, then D up. If you don't
Right.
want somebody to get a rebound, box out. If you don't want somebody to get an assist, play the passing lane or make sure that the person they passing to you D up on. Like, I don't understand. Like, if you don't want somebody to get a steal, then don't be careless with the ball. Like, it ain't no fucking such thing as stat pattern. Like, it don't exist.
But then they say that LeBron
The only like I said this before, and I'm gonna say this again. The only time I could say somebody was stat pattern was Ricky Davis when he tried to shoot at his own baskets so he could get a triple double. That's it, and that's all. No other such thing as stat pattern.
And this guy here, young Money Will, how was he a choker when he went to fucking the last like 8 NBA finals?
Is
Did you see him when he dropped
Who
those
said
40
that?
points in Game 6 against Miami
Hold
last
on,
year?
Young Money Will, just hit the link. Here, come here, hold on. Let's get him in.
Oh
We're
yeah,
gonna-
get in here.
Hold on.
They act like 2011 is the only time this man ever played a basketball championship game.
I like how
in his life.
they remember 2011 by the back of their hand, but everybody forgot that Kawhi just lost a 3-1
And
lead.
Young Money Will, I see you in the comments a
KD
lot
too.
So
Right.
hit the link, and we're
Steph
gonna give
Curry
you
too.
as soon as you come in, Young Money. I'm gonna give you the whole floor. I'm gonna give you 5 minutes just to get it, whatever you got on your chest about.
Oh, he
LeBron.
said he a role player like Ticket. We already know what type of dude he is.
Hold on, I wanted. Hold on. I just want him to come in.
I already know what you try to do. You try to do what's his name, Lord Nixon.
Oh, he a Holman. He a Ticket TV Holman pigeon. Hey, hit that link, Holman pigeon. He said he'll
Hold
give you the
on.
floor.
Have any of y'all seen Lord Ninja, man?
Yeah, he be on Ticket TV.
How come he don't come over here no more, man? That's crazy.
Didn't you block him?
I don't block people.
You had a vote, and you said if the whole panel vote for him out, you gonna block him.
No,
That's all I
that
wanna
wasn't
see.
blocked. No, that means you get kicked off the panel for the night.
Oh, just for the day. Oh, okay.
Just for the panel. You're not blocked from the panel.
He be on
Yo.
he be on U3. He be
Hello.
on U3 all the time.
Blue Boat, what's good?
Hey, what's going on, fellas? I like
up,
to check
Blue
what's
Boat?
going
What up,
on, man. I want to ask y'all a question, man.
What's
You got a whole lot of these Ticket TV minions talking about Kevin Durant gonna surpass LeBron James all time. Just wanted to come in here real quick and get y'all response to that. A lot of
never.
Ticket TV minions say Kevin Durant gonna eclipse LeBron James' career. That's
Never.
bullshit to me.
He would never do
you know?
it.
No,
never do it.
You know what I mean? Especially the top two of them, too raw for TV. He said he started this bullshit.
He'll never eclipse LeBron because he's not a leader like LeBron has always been from day one, and he's too sensitive.
Hold on. Too Raw is the guy that made a full video talking about can Draymond Green play in the WNBA. This tells you what some of these guys. It tells you.
How
It tells you
LeBron
what some of their logic is, man.
How LeBron like a
Right.
participation award? He got the Finals MVP, which means he was the best player in the series.
Hey,
Right.
Y'all niggas be capping, but I swear to God.
This how you
Right.
deal with that, bro.
Right.
I got Kareem as the GOAT, right?
Right.
All that conversation does is take the conversation from Mike and LeBron.
Right.
That's all it is.
For me, at the end of the day, that's them. They're gonna be the top three right there. Mike, LeBron, and Kareem. End the story.
Those my top three too.
Right. But you got some of these guys so desperately trying to diminish this man's career. You know what I mean? Not realizing how dominant he's been. Forget the finals record, because at the end of the day, that's a team game. You understand?
No, bro. And again, I don't mean to cut you off, brother, but
go ahead.
So with LeBron being down, you see how important he is.
Right.
You see
Right.
his value, and this is 18
Right.
years in. So you got to
Right.
change the story, bro.
Right.
Because if you tickets have been saying for a long time, LeBron been holding Kuzma back. LeBron was
Right.
holding all these dudes back. Well, now they
Right.
got the floor. What they doing?
Exactly. I mean, there's an opportunity right there. Opportunity right there to show and prove, but yet they've been inconsistent.
hey, anti-boyfriend here.
Who, Amir? Because Anti back in the chat.
Anti in the chat.
Yeah, he said.
He said we're anti at. This dude is a real live meat squeezer.
Right.
Hey, where you at, Anti?
Anti here. Anti said he with a woman.
Maybe that's who he was talking about when he was
Right.
laid up. When he said he was laid up
Oh,
with his
he
bitch.
with a woman. Hey,
Yeah, that's
Hentai, she got an OnlyFans.
Probably so.
Oh man.
Hey, Young Money,
She's
jump in the joint, man. What you afraid of?
Hey,
You want to do all that talking in the
she's not
chat?
right. She's not right, and she's not moral.
Yeah, that's
hey,
right.
check this out, guys. That's all I wanted to say. I wanted to get y'all real quick some thoughts real quick, but I'll probably get in the chat next time for the next stream. But good
All right,
talking
bro.
with y'all, guys. Good chopping it up with y'all fellas.
All right,
take
brother.
it easy. All right, take it easy,
G.
Lamont.
Yes, sir.
All right, later.
Hey, hit the link, Young Money.
I'd like to know if KD's gonna make it through this season right here.
Yeah,
Well-
he gonna make it. I think that's why they had him sit
His
to the
hairline
side.
ain't gonna make it.
Mercy, mercy. Oh, them BBs.
I mean, here's Durant's true problem. He hasn't improved the rest of his game enough. He's always been a lethal scorer.
That's the only thing he's going for to me.
Yeah, and so unless he becomes a monster defensively and starts doing other things well, it's the same thing.
Only one out there that, because I remember watching that OKC team that really improved their game between the three was James Harden. Like Russell Westbrook is just there.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie though. I used to call Russell Westbrook, but he playing with the Wizards. He balling out right now. I ain't even gonna sit on Westbrook.
Bro,
He the only player for them.
Bradley Bill.
He just came back.
Yeah.
He just came back. You know,
Hey,
y'all guys on the
triple
panel.
double.
Hey, bro, I don't know why y'all do that to Russ, man. Russ ain't the best point guard in the world, but
He not.
Russ done balled out his whole career.
I'll take Russell Westbrook over a lot of point guards in the NBA right now. I'll take him over Kyrie. I'll start naming them.
I mean, if you compare Russell to Kyrie, what has Kyrie done compared to Russell Westbrook?
Nothing.
Without LeBron, he ain't do
What
shit.
has Dame Lillard done compared to Russell Westbrook?
Dame Lillard is an MVP contention. This dude led Portland
Hey,
Trailblazers
no, what I'm saying
to the
is,
Western Conference
at
Finals.
the end of the day, they all the same.
No, Westbrook hasn't gotten out the second round since KD.
No,
left.
that's not true, bro.
That
He
is
went
true.
to the finals, bro.
No, since KD
You said
left.
without KD.
You don't get no qualifier like, oh, you went to the finals.
Okay, he won. Yeah,
No,
I'll give you
what
that.
has he done in his career that's different than what Westbrook has done? He ain't won no MVP. Has he?
Who, Damian Lillard?
Or,
Well, he could win it.
or Kyrie or any of them guards. What Chris Paul? I know he's a better player, but what has he accomplished more than Russ? Really?
I mean, ain't he a steals leader and an assist leader or something?
Man, you better stop, man.
All NBA first team.
Better
I
stop,
don't know. I'm
man.
just looking for something.
No, that's what I'm saying. We just dump on Russ sometimes.
All star, 10-time All Star.
He could be a better point guard. I'll give you that. But that dude a beast.
Yeah,
But they be saying he stat pad bees.
What's that? How do you stat pad in the NBA game?
Like I said, ain't no such thing as stat
There
padding.
ain't no such thing as stat padding. But if it was, it would be Westbrook. Because I seen Westbrook run and jump in front of Steven Adams when he was right in front of the ball. You don't do nothing like that.
Stat padded.
Hold on. But just maybe the few incidents where you can see that he tried to get an extra rebound or assist just to get to a triple double. Hold on. That means you're talking about one stat, one particular number. What about the points, the rebounds, and assists that even put him in the position to even get there?
Right. That's the point that I was making about LeBron, dude. If you up there, why not go for it? Like, people kill me. It's hard to get even points, rebounds, and assists in the NBA game at all the period.
Hey, bro. Like Lamont said, naturally he got to one away. He might as well go ahead and get that last.
Might as well.
I've seen him miss an open shot and then get the rebound.
Number two.
No, you haven't. No, you haven't.
Yes, I have.
No, you
There's
haven't.
videos of mine.
No,
There's a video
bro.
compilation of Westbrook missing like a layup and stuff, trying to get the putback.
I think I know what you're
Okay. Let's say that's true. Oh, how come the other team didn't do nothing
Hold
about
on,
it?
I'm gonna go find this video real quick. Hold on.
Okay, I'm
You
just
ain't
saying.
gonna be able to play it because you're gonna get a copyright strike like old boy.
How come the other team didn't do nothing about it?
No, I'm just saying.
Hey, Bees, I was watching that video the other day of y'all when y'all was talking about Brian Urlacher and all them. They booted y'all right off that motherfucker.
No,
Hold on,
my
what
God.
happened? What happened?
Oh, he talking about Bang. He tried to say
Bang.
Urlacher is the best linebacker.
Nah, they was Bang was showing some like Urlacher footage and Ray Lewis footage, and they yanked y'all right off that motherfucker. Like that shit said video not available, is unavailable due to something.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah,
Yeah, the NFL don't play.
Yeah, they don't play that shit. They get you out of there.
They mean everything they say.
Extreme.
What up, Bees?
Oh, that's extreme.
Here's the crazy thing about when we call players stat patters.
No, I didn't say the word.
No.
But I said
I'm
if there
making a
was,
statement, bro.
Westbrook
You
has
don't gotta
done
get.
that.
I'm not asking you to defend yourself. I'm just making a statement. Here's the crazy thing: the NBA, baseball, hockey, soccer, any of them, they get paid based on their production.
That's true.
So
I heard-
why wouldn't you be a stat
Yeah,
pattern?
they get incentives and all
That's the
that
reason
too.
why he won MVP because he
No,
he got
I'm
them triple
saying
doubles.
I would go out there and get every fucking number I could get.
Like I
'Cause
know,
that means money.
I know it's I know like the example I'm about to bring up is football, but I think like what you call it, like the last game of the season, Tom Brady, he was throwing little screen passes to Antonio Brown because he needed like a certain amount of catches to get a certain amount of money. So it's incentives.
Yeah, I mean,
Hey, but stat pattern can go both ways because there was a player for the Sacramento Kings a few years ago where if his 3-point percentage stayed at like 38%, he got like a $2 million kicker in his contract. So when he got to 38%, he stopped shooting threes for the rest of the season.
Straight up,
Like, is
I
that
think
stat pattern to a certain
KCP
degree? Is like you?
Yeah, I think KCP did it for a good portion of this season. I'd watch him. That dude was pump faking nobody. He didn't want to shoot the ball.
But I got a question: is Westbrook a top 5 point guard in the league right now? Because I know we got number 1 at Curry, 2 at Dame, 3 at CP3, Kyrie at 4.
Ain't
So
Luka
he at number 5?
Ain't Luka?
Hold on, who put Kyrie at 4?
I don't have.
Well,
I wouldn't put Curry at 1.
Hold on, ain't Luka technically a point guard?
Kyrie is not the best point guard in the
Nah,
league.
he's not.
People
Man.
in the
Y'all
chat.
give him too much. Y'all give him
He's not
too
a
much
point
credit,
guard.
man.
Hold on. But isn't Luka technically considered a point guard?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So where was he on the top 5 list?
Nah,
He's
he
not
on there.
above
Take
Kyrie to me.
Kyrie's ass out.
Okay.
You put Kyrie. You put Kyrie ahead of Luka.
What about James Harden?
No,
I'm talking about Lamont.
You said what?
You putting Kyrie ahead of Luka?
Hell no. I'm putting Luka ahead of Kyrie.
Right, that's what I was about to. That's what I'm saying. Just take Kyrie out and put people give Kyrie too much credit because he can dribble and real good and he entertaining and he hit that shot. But like Bees just talked about a couple minutes ago, what has he really done for real? You take LeBron off that team, they was a lottery team, bro. We was a lottery team for 3 years, and then LeBron come back and fast forward his career by 5 years.
Before LeBron came there, you see where Colin Sexton at right now. That's where Kyrie was.
That's where
at.
Kyrie was at. Same position. Same
Well,
shit.
Well, it's because all he is, he's a specialist.
Right.
What he does better than anybody. But that's all he does.
Yep.
So that means that Russell Westbrook ain't even the top 5 point guard. Then
He's the offensive.
He is a top 5.
He's the offensive Draymond Green.
He just said Damian Lillard, Steph Curry, Luka Doncic, James Harden, and CP3.
Okay.
I mean, I even though technically James Harden is the point guard this year. I mean, I put him in the shooting guard, but I mean,
he a little shooting guard.
Yeah.
Okay, so then he'll be top 5 by default then.
I mean, let me see. I got.
I mean,
No, you gotta have James Harden in there.
There ain't no problem with Russ not being top 5. Russ.
No, I just want to know.
Russ's career is already set, bro.
Yeah, he's a Hall of Famer for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, so he don't have to compete now. I mean, what's Russ? 13 years in the league now?
Hold on. Not to cut you off.
I think it's like 13.
Somebody just said Kyrie is Pippen.
Nah, he's not. Nah, but come on, man. Like,
Y'all be overrating this man. That's why I be saying he overrated because y'all people out here.
maybe he talking about from like being a number 2. That's the only. That's where it
No,
stopped.
that's still a bad example.
Yo, what's up?
Do you think the comparison? Some people made the comparison to Russ and Derrick Rose too early.
What you mean?
Like I heard a lot of people, I think that's when he got the MVP, for the what's the name after Durant left, and they got in the playoffs, and then they was like, well, he's what Derrick Rose would have been if Derrick Rose would have not only stayed healthy, but land correctly and stuff like that.
It's hard to compare the two. I mean, Derrick Rose is good, but Derrick Rose, people forget he had the benefit of some great years, some coaches and teams. He had some good teams down there in Chicago.
Yeah, he did.
That helped. That was considered some of I think I even put one of them as one of the best defensive teams of all time. So I mean, they had good teams. He got hurt, but I don't know. I think Russ has had a better career than Derrick Rose.
I mean, that's obvious, but I'm saying as far as comparisons, like when they were like, that's what Rose would have been if he never got the injuries.
No, I think Rose would have been a little bit better. Without the injuries, Rose was, as far as offensively, Rose was more of a force. Russ is more of an all-around force. But
I think they talking about athletically.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to me, yeah, athletically, yeah, the explosion. But Russ is, I don't know. I don't think he was ever as athletic as D Rose was when he was in his prime.
They break it down and say that Westbrook was more athletic, but D Rose was quicker.
I don't think Russ was more athletic. I think D Rose had more explosion, more hops,
speed.
I think Russ just plays so hard all the time. Yeah. Everything just looks more explosive than what it actually is. Even when he dunks, it's just basic dunks. He's just putting a whole bunch of extra animation and force behind it. And we think is something crazy, but it's not. He's just a hard-nosed player. He just plays crazy at a crazy pace. His conditioning is off the road. I ain't gonna lie. His conditioning is through the roof.
It's crazy to see all these people I grew up watching and stuff about to get ready to leave the league, like Melo and Russ and James Harden and stuff. It's like, damn. Even LeBron too. And
James
KD.
Harden still got some years left. How old is James Harden, bro?
30 what?
Yeah, but I'm saying they got about like 5-7 years and they're gonna be gone. They're gonna be like John Morant, Jason Tatum, Donovan Mitchell.
Went by fast because I remember when.
Yeah, these are 2009 dudes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Curry too. Curry like 32. I was like, damn, he in his 30s.
Yep.
Yeah, but Curry spent the first few years he was injured.
Oh yeah.
That's why he got that contract. That's how they was able to build up that team, and because he got like what $40 million or something like that. That's how they was able to correctly build that team and pay the players that they, that they could use to win championships and shit.
Yeah,
that's facts.
But damn, man, like LeBron's career, boy, 18 years, man. That's a long time, man. Too. Shit, that's longer than some of these dudes in the chat.
And that's why I be laughing because people need to appreciate greatness because people like LeBron playing to like he 36 now. KD and Jimmy Butler and Kyrie Irving said by the time they 36, they're gonna retire. So I'm like, y'all got a large fan base and y'all fans love y'all. And
do y'all think that is somebody who could do y'all like let's say then again, I don't even think this is a good question, but fuck it. Like, do y'all think anybody has the potential to do what LeBron did at 36?
No.
From this generation. Yeah, in general.
I thought Ben Simmons did. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie.
He gets hurt too much.
Yeah, he stayed injured a lot.
I mean, it's just LeBron never in his career showed a propensity to get injuries that take him out for long portions of time.
They said,
"Damn, that nigga was talking and he just got smacked."
I don't know. He bumped out himself. Hold on, Young Money Will. We're gonna be shutting it down here in a little bit. Make sure you hit that link so we can get you in.
But he a troll. He ain't
gonna come here.
I don't care. I want to hear what you got to say. Young Money Will. I'm not gonna make a spoof video on you like I did, Lord.
What's up with y'all, man?
Man, what's going on, bro?
He's saying he's not even top 50, not even top 60. Like, come on,
man. He trolling, man. Like he want attention, man. He trolling.
He just want attention.
What you got on it, fam?
Hey, Jamar, you really had time to do that, bro?
What?
I said Jamar really took
Oh
time
yeah,
out of
he
his
said
day
he
to
counted
count.
his last 100 videos, and 50 of them was about
53 of
LeBron.
them are LeBron and Lakers.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean, but
sad, man.
everybody know that because matter of fact, Lamont even made a video about it too. Because I think they was investigating the Clippers and they had a little situation with Kawhi. Ain't nobody say shit about LeBron, but he said, "Oh, Jerry West left the Lakers because LeBron, blah 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 blah." A whole bunch of bullshit.
Oh, I ethered on him that one. He was dead.
Yeah,
on
that was a funny ass video.
He's a
That was
Space
some
Jam
funny.
2
The thing is,
trash.
like, what's sad is, like I said, like people don't even read art. They just look at headlines or they just look at one sentence and then they make a video about it. They don't read like a whole article. They just put out misinformation, and then you got dick riders who just gonna go ahead and yeah, bro, I think you speaking facts.
I never watched that dude channel until the other day. I watched a video where Lamont was debating some dude named James, I think it was. You and Anton when y'all was talking. When dude said, dude said,
Chris
what did he
Webber.
say? Was the stupidest shit ever.
I know he said Chris Webber his legacy better than
Chris
LeBron
Webber's
because
better
he
than
never lost in the
LeBron,
finals or some shit like that. He said, "Oh, because he's 0-0 in the finals and LeBron 4-6." It was something to like that extent. I'm a stupid shit.
Role play headers.
And there was another nigga on there. His name Will. He said that Carmelo better than LeBron. And I'm trying to debate him. He is, nigga. Like, you know how them young niggas be talking.
He said Carmelo better than LeBron. Oh,
yeah.
Now that's Will.
It's hard
That be
to
Will
take
be
people
saying
serious
some
when
shit.
they say stuff like that. It's real hard to take them serious when they start saying
He
stuff.
said he didn't have Tim Duncan in the top 10 because he don't like him personally and stuff.
What?
Yes.
Tim Duncan?
Yeah. He said he didn't like the dude. He didn't like his game or anything, so he not in his top 10 just because of that reason. He said he got him at number 13. I was like, man, I'm
So
done.
that's like that's some emotional shit right there.
That's kind of weird.
But what Ticket does too.
That's emotional.
I remember he was like, because what they do is they try to bump up Jordan competition and like bump down the players he played with. So he just said straight up that Scottie Pippen wasn't even a top 10 player in the 90s.
That's not. Yeah, somebody said that. Then that was a video where when I think it was Ticket saying he wasn't top 10. I was like,
it was Ticket. It was Ticket.
I said, "What's your top 10?" And he started running off some crazy names.
He said John Stockton, Isaiah Thomas, Charles Barkley, a whole bunch of them.
One of them dudes said Wes Unseld was great in the 90s. I'm like, what the fuck? That was the video where Lamont and Anton was going at James. He said Wes Unseld, and I think it was Mark Aguirre because the setup was like Lamont asked him a simple question. He asked him, name all of the champions in the 90s, not name anything from the Bulls. And he was stuck. So, like, he had to go to another goalpost move. And then LeBron was like, all right, well, then just name the 90s great players and shit. Then he was like, Wes Unseld and
I'm done.
Mark Aguirre, I think he said, was another one. I was just like, what the fuck? Like, these niggas is idiots. Like,
He named a 70s player. Wow.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was just like,
he named the 70s players.
He was naming dudes in the 80s and shit.
He said Wes Unseld. God damn, in the 90s.
Yeah, he said he was great in the 90s. He said him and somebody else. I was like, okay. I don't see how that was on there.
It was hot.
Young Money Will said, I don't watch Ticket.
Yes, you do. You just came off the channel. Literally, just came off of it.
I mean, but he said like Ticket, like he been saying, oh, he a role player, like Ticket said. So I mean, he watched
like Ticket said. So you do be watching Ticket.
So you got Durant ahead of him. He said without super team, LeBron would be ringless. That Cavs team wasn't a super team, Young Money. And neither was the Lakers. The Lakers ain't. Where's the super team with the Lakers? I ain't even about to argue with that motherfucker.
But it's a stupid narrative, bro. It's a stupid narrative.
I mean, some teams have been around since the 60s, but they ain't worth arguing, bro.
Yeah, because if you want to do that, like, it's been around since like 50.
You better have a great team if you want to win. I don't see all these teams winning without great talent around them. Like,
yeah, look at KD. He need all this help just to win.
But look at Magic Johnson's teams. Magic and them had like 4 or 5 fucking first round #1 overall picks on their fucking team.
That's why
nobody else. Nobody else talks about how Jordan literally had 3 Hall of Famers on his team, and nobody else had more than 2 if they got
And not
if they
to
were
mention
lucky.
that, what you call it, like
Right?
Scottie
We're
Pippen
not
was a
doing
first.
that.
Scottie Pippen was a first round draft pick. The best first round draft pick that LeBron played with in his first stint with Cleveland was who? Daniel Gibson, J.J. Hickson. Like, come on now.
He said both Morris twins got ejected tonight.
Yeah, I saw the Lakers one.
I seen him on TV.
Well, he
Some
get
ISO
ejected.
Joe.
Morris twins.
So one for the Lakers got ejected because he was arguing with the ref.
And the other,
He's arguing for it.
Did
said, "Is that
the
Will
Suns beat the Clippers?
No, the
Nah, they
Suns
lost
got
by
smoked.
12.
They was winning, and then Rondo
Suns
and Chris Paul.
lost.
Paul George went ham.
they finally woke up and decided to play today, I
You
guess.
can see where Rondo really helped them at.
Yeah, he gonna help them in the fourth quarter. They ain't gonna
Yeah,
have
he
Right.
gonna help him.
quarters.
Because I remember you said that, Bees. You was like, he don't even have to play in all 3 of the quarters. He could just come in there in the fourth quarter and just play the whole fourth quarter and just set them up. That's essentially all he need to do.
Yeah, he gave.
What do y'all think? What do y'all think about Paul George saying that the team is Rondo's?
I think
he right.
Paul
It
George
ain't his.
I mean, hey.
Hey, Paul George is saying that, and they're not going to get out the West.
Paul George said that in the interview.
And I'll tell you right now, when you telling me a guy who don't even start, you talking about when you start talking
For
about
real.
the best,
Don't even
when you got your best players on your team deferring. I've never been on a team. I've never seen a team where you got the best players on the team saying that lesser guys on the team is the leaders.
Yeah.
Yeah, you look it up. He said he wasn't the leader, and Kawhi was not the leader. That the team, well, I think he said the team didn't belong to him. The team didn't belong to Kawhi. The team is Rondo's.
Who that sound like? That sound like the same shit
said,
Kevin Durant said about the
DeAndre
Nets.
Jordan.
And DeAndre Jordan was their leader, a lesser player.
Hey, there we go again. The Clippers failure, Natalie. Why is it Paul George failure?
I said, man,
DeAndre Jordan.
y'all better watch out.
I don't
George.
know.
I mean, George is under contract, but Kawhi could opt out.
Yeah, but Kawhi ain't going nowhere. If
You
the
think?
Clippers lose, it's on Kawhi. Period. It ain't on Paul George. It's on Kawhi. Let's stop giving that dude a pass.
Right. That's what I don't like how they was.
I'm not giving him. I'm not giving none of them a pass. I think both of them got issues and problems right now.
Yeah.
I
You're
know.
not just gonna give it
but,
all on
but
Kawhi.
let me ask the panel this question: if the Clippers win, is Kawhi going to get the credit, or is Paul George going to get the credit?
Kawhi.
It depends on who has a better series. If
Kawhi.
Paul George
Right
is
now,
hooping, taking off like he just did tonight.
right
Hold
now
on,
they're gonna give it to playoff Rondo.
Well,
If he wins with the Clippers, it's going to enhance Rondo's legacy, sure, but Kawhi's legacy is the one that's got the most to gain.
but when he loses, it's on Doc Rivers, it's on Paul George, or it's on Lou Williams.
It's on everybody but him.
Montrezl Harrell.
Even though he scored 0 points, he scored 0 points in the second. It was in the second half. My bad. 0 points in the second half of an elimination game. But it's Doc Rivers' fault.
And got cut by Jamal Murray too.
See, I thought they would be better than the Lakers with Rondo, but when they signed DeMarcus Cousins, I don't know about that. Why
it wasn't even.
It's a 10-day contract. It's a 10-day contract.
I don't care. Why they do that, LeBron?
To see how it's gonna work.
It's not even
because Rondo wanted
They don't trust I don't think they. I think Serge Ibaka can be trusted. I don't think he's up.
Serge Ibaka out right now.
Look, it don't matter. Serge Ibaka been out, and they ain't went and got him. They went and got him as a response to Drummond. They ain't go get him because Ibaka's been hurt.
Who's that other big man outside of
Jones? LaChancy Jones, no, we can't hear you. You are in the chat. You're in the chat warrior. We can hear you.
I'm in the panel, bro.
He on the panel.
Oh, there he is. I hear him.
Oh, when did he come in?
I came in. I just want to rectify what I said. What I was saying.
Why didn't you just talk? Why you gonna put that in the chat?
Because I was talking, and can y'all hear me? And y'all kept talking, so
we hear you now. No, we hear you now.
Okay, I just want to say,
go ahead.
What I was saying earlier, before y'all called me Project Pat and all that shit. I was talking to Mingo Jester like for the last month or two, I've been looking at other people's sports channels. Where the Lakers get all this hate from all of a sudden?
Because LeBron on the team.
LeBron.
Let me tell you something, bro. This is what it is in Los Angeles. In Los Angeles, there are three types of fans: the Lakers fans, Kobe fans, and LeBron fans. The Kobe fans don't like LeBron, so they gonna hate on him. The LeBron fans don't really even like LeBron signing with the Lakers. They just ride with him because he over there. And the Lakers fan like LeBron because he playing for that team and stuff. That's what it is. This is the vision.
Yeah, he looked like that, dude.
Yeah,
he looked like.
I just want to come in here, man. It's late. I don't like no project plan, man.
Oh man. hey, yo, Lamar, man. Come on, man.
This dude is still trolling. He said LeBron can't shoot or play any defense.
He's a troll, bro.
Yeah, he's just trolling. He ain't
Who said that? Is that Young Money Will still running his mouth?
Y'all
Money
stop.
Will.
Y'all
Don't pay
gotta
no
stop paying
mind.
attention to these trolls, bro.
He said a dude not top six.
But my thing is this. My thing is this. I mean, if they say LeBron fanboys, you a fan of every player has fans. So if you defending that player, aren't you a fanboy too?
Yup.
And I just get sick and tired of people saying, "Oh, they stayed on one team with that slave mentality." If the man want to go to a different team, who are you to stop him from going to a different team?
Hey, I like this brother.
Right.
For real.
Hey,
I just get tired of
he's
people.
speaking real
Oh,
bad.
he needed to stay on one team. If we should have stayed in slavery, then why we fight out of slavery? We should have just stayed there. And we should have just let Steven worry about who on the nag and just stayed in our place.
Right.
You know what I mean? I just get tired of hearing that. It don't matter what channel. I was watching a white dude channel. He liked the Lakers. I think his name Bad Boy Sports or something like that. He's from New York, but he a Laker fan. You got Nets fans.
I'm talking
in
about
there.
Bad Dog Sports.
Yeah. You got
Oh,
Nets
yeah.
fans in there
Yeah.
talking about LeBron.
Yeah, I know
LeBron ain't played in 2 weeks.
He a Giants fan too. Yeah. He a Giants fan too.
Yeah, you know why though? Hey, I would be worried about them Lakers too if they get healthy. Shit, and that's gonna have some problems if they get to the finals. That's not gonna be an easy out.
Hey, but Chauncey, you know what the funny thing about all this is? It's the Jordan fans who push the narrative that LeBron, Michael Jordan's the GOAT because he went 6-0. So that's because he got the rings, which is a team accomplishment, right? But then they say that the people like LeBron who switching teams to get the ring so he could be considered like the GOAT like Michael, they say he in the wrong. But then you got living proof of people like Charles Barkley and other people who stayed on their teams for their whole career and then win a championship, and we don't consider those dudes top 10. So like you guys are forcing these players today to do what they gotta do to win a championship because otherwise they don't want to be considered like Charles Barkley. They want to be like Mike.
That's I think somebody said that the other day.
So
like
nobody's gonna say on a team like and be like Damian Lillard. Look at Dame. I love Dame, but the chance of him winning a championship are probably like 20%, 15%, unless he go on a D-Wade type run or somebody get hurt.
I seen not to cut you off. I seen something like that a few days ago where they were just like, yeah, like at this point, because they were talking about LaMarcus Aldridge, like players, they just can't even just be great no more. It's like if they don't get a ring, that destroys their legacy or some shit like that.
Exactly.
But my thing is, what do they play for?
Championships and success.
And this whole narrative about LeBron chasing stats. How when you go to when colleges go to draft kids from college school, what do they look at?
Stats.
So you play to put up the best stats. So why you hating a man that putting up great stats?
And to be in the record books too. Like who wouldn't want to be in the
record
books?
They created a whole record book for stats. I don't.
Niggas just like to nitpick and belittle niggas and shit. I don't like that hating shit, man.
Ain't nobody capping on Tom Brady. Tom Brady, 40 years old. Everybody congratulate Tom Brady for a long career, but they hating on LeBron for a long career.
Nah, because they say he stat padding now and stuff. Skip Bayless, the one who's pushing these narratives on these Jordan medias and all these KD fans and other people like them. Talk about he's just playing for stats right now because that's all he got to beat LeBron Jordan at.
But I'm like Bees. I have Kareem as the GOAT.
I respect
That's how
that.
I feel about it.
I respect that.
He do a lot, but he has some shit.
Is that me or is CA3 Mike messed up?
That's
Nah,
Mike.
you cutting out
That's his mic.
C3.
Yeah, CA3, you sound more like C3PO.
I thought that was me.
Nah,
Yeah, your mic's messing up,
I'm
CA3.
on my phone because I'm. All right, hold up.
You cutting out in and out, bro.
And the stat, and I was looking at Lamont posted a picture the other day, and that I didn't even know. And people say LeBron a choke artist, but the man played against, if I remember correctly, it was 26 Hall of Famers in the finals.
I
So
think
Jordan's
something
what,
like
6
that.
or 9?
Yeah, like he's gonna have a blemishes on his record. Look what he played against.
And then
And
every
my
team that
thing
did
is,
beat him had four All-Stars. Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, Tim Duncan, Kawhi Leonard, Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett,
Rondo.
John Rondo. Now we got KD, Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, Draymond Green, and now we got KD, Blake Griffin, LaMarcus Aldridge, Kyrie Irving, James Harden. So it's like he not losing to bums.
Right.
Besides Dallas, but Dallas still had Dirk, and Dirk is
Dallas
all-time legend too. So
They swept Kobe. Nobody like mentioning that.
they swept everybody. Didn't they beat this
They
OKC
wasn't
too?
like Dallas. And I'm not trying to say Dallas was like anything that was expected, but Dallas they wasn't a scrub. They wasn't no scrubs like how people like to make it look like.
Yeah,
They was
and
not
Mark Cuban
scrubs at
even
all.
came out and said they had the blueprint to defeat LeBron. He said we had a game plan for him. We just didn't get lucky. He said we had the blueprint ready, and we applied that. We performed the blueprint to max capacity, and we took him out like we planned to do.
And they beat him 4 games straight.
But you know what? That series also, when you look at it, because again, no single player loses a series. That showed at that time Eric Spoelstra's youth as a coach. Because I think if you replace Spoelstra with a guy like Vogel, who showed himself to be one of the best coaches as far as making adjustments mid-series, maybe they could have made adjustments mid-series to win. But Spoelstra couldn't really make any adjustments on the fly. That was one of Vogel's biggest strengths last year. Nobody gives him credit for it. Look at how many times he switched that defensive up or switched up rotations, like against Houston, where he benched Dwight Howard and JaVale McGee and just went small. Or in Game 6 in the NBA Finals, and he started Caruso. He saw something there when they blew him out. He's great at adjustments, man. Sometimes it's just not just player. LeBron was playing bad, but it's on the coach to get you back right. He didn't get him back right. So that's collectively. That's why I say it's a team loss, a team wins, team accomplishments.
But I could get people if they said LeBron a choke artist and he never got better after that. But the man been on a mission, improving and getting better year after year. And
Show me a player that hasn't choked more. Like, look, Jordan's missed more game winners and in the big moment shots than he's made.
They hide information like that.
There's nobody who's perfect from the field in those moments. And I would say the guys that do have high percentages in those moments are going to be your Joe Johnsons and your Robert Ory's. When those guys aren't in the GOAT conversation. But you're talking about clutch moments, clutch points. Those guys have low percentage. Those are really low percentage shots. Jordan's just made a few more of them than LeBron, even though the numbers don't even support that anymore. So, I mean, we can say clutch, but that's really not even holding up anymore. Because now LeBron's numbers are surpassing.
They act like every year after 2011 is 2011.
Nah, it's still messed up, CA3.
The only person I'll put like currently in the league that's more clutch than LeBron is probably Dame. That's the only person.
He's more clutch offensively.
Oh, yeah.
Is he more clutch defensively?
Nope.
Prime example, Lamont, how they say that defense don't matter. If you watch that Gonzaga and Baylor game, the way Baylor was switching and getting back out on them guys, that defense threw Gonzaga off from the opening tip.
Yep.
Go watch that 2016 finals with LeBron, dude. People leave out that defense he played was astronomical, man.
He be guarded
he was guarding Derrick Rose when Derrick Rose was Derrick Rose.
LeBron, he was guarding Jamal Murray when he was hot last year. Like, he was blocking
Did it against Tony Parker too in the finals.
Tony Parker,
but what about when the playoff bubble started? Lakers played the Clippers, and at the end of the game, LeBron forced, I think, Paul George or Kawhi Leonard to give up the ball. He guarded Paul George and Kawhi on the last play of the game, both. and stopped them both.
Yeah,
They don't want to talk
then
about
Paul
that.
George start crying by the foul.
No, that was good D. That was one
Nah, that
time
was
where I
good
can't.
defense.
That was
Yeah,
great
I'm
D.
saying Paul George was crying by the
Yeah, he
foul
was
when it was.
crying, but that's the same nigga that said Dame took a bad shot against him, bust his ass. And you see Dame do that same shot to everybody.
Hey, I think
Making
Paul
him look
George.
normal.
Hold on. I think Paul George got the coldest takes out of any NBA player. It's like anytime he opens it, like I mean, he was like, "Oh, this ain't a championship or bust." He like everything he said is just straight up wrong. Like I don't
That's why
know.
I can't get behind the man because he don't own accountability to himself as a man or a player. Like he blamed his coach, he blamed everybody else, like Montrezl Harrell and stuff. Then he was lying about his shot selection, saying what did he say about his shot selection? Saying that
He
he
said,
trying,
he said he didn't get enough pick and rolls or something.
saying they trying to play him like Ray Allen and stuff. But
Yeah,
I'm
but then
like,
they pulled up the numbers. He had the most pick and rolls on the team.
I'm like, Paul George, just admit that the other team got the best of you. Just say that you're gonna come back next year and try to do better. That you took your L, you got on up to it, man. But you throw everybody under the bus, your coaches, your teammates. Like I don't fuck with nobody like that. Kawhi didn't do that. Kawhi did say that the team needed to get smarter and improve their basketball IQ, but he still held himself accountable and stuff too. But PG don't never hold himself to the same standard as like LeBron.
Jody Joe says, "What about KD when did LeBron? Oh wait, what? I don't understand that, man. He's trying to say something about LeBron, but
I think
you got to either come in the chat or
I think he probably trying to say that KD was cooking LeBron, which I mean that was
that shot he hit on LeBron that he hit the next year later in the exact same
Hey,
spot.
Jody
LeBron,
Joe, just hit the link, Jody Joe.
on
And then
LeBron,
you
he's
can
like he slipped on him. He ain't even crossed him. He slipped, and then KD got a dunk.
That same shot he hit over J.R. Smith in the exact same spot a year later.
That was a 7-footer taking a shot from the 5 feet behind the 3-point line. Could nobody stop that shot? I don't care who it is.
He did the same shit to J.R. Smith, so that's clearly one of his hot spots. Just like Kyrie. If anybody watches a Kyrie Irving game, almost every single time when the game is close, Kyrie takes an opponent to that same exact spot he hit the shot against Curry in Cleveland in 2016.
Right.
That's his hot spot.
4 and 6 is the standard to look up to in 2021. Shake these niggas.
Y'all keep worrying.
Man,
They
I
keep
take
worrying
4
about
and 6
a
Hold on.
I got 4 rings.
Hold on. I just want to ask y'all one question.
Oh my gosh, bro.
You got Young Money Will, Ja'Cory Royal, and then somebody
Mingle
else.
Jester.
And Jody Joe. I just need one of y'all to hit the link and just come in if you feel that way. I just want an explanation on why you feel that way. The link is in the chat, man. Just hit the link.
AD and LeBron was the
It's
dynamic
not gonna
duo.
be bad. I won't even step in. I just want you to talk. I'm not even gonna intervene in ether. I just want to hear what you got to say.
People call Scottie Pippen trash the year Jordan retired. Scottie Pippen led the Bulls in all statistical categories, but he was trash.
55. They won 55 games too.
He had the most points, more rebounds, most assists, most steals, most blocks, but he was trash.
And was a game away from going back to the Eastern Conference Finals without Michael Jordan.
But you know, whenever LeBron leaves, this team goes straight to the lottery.
Number 1 pick.
Right.
Top 5 pick.
I remember they drafted Anthony Bennett.
Well, usually because the team he leaves are bad organizations.
That got to be the worst first draft pick ever in NBA history. The Cavs realized drafted Anthony fucking Bennett.
Hold on, look at Michael Land. Michael Land said
Pippen quit
on his team.
Jordan
Hey,
retired,
what about the
bro.
time when they say Jordan quit on his team?
Jordan
No.
retired.
There was a time early in his career where playing against the Pistons, they said Jordan quit on this team. But y'all just don't want to go that far back and expose it.
Yeah, I'm just saying he actually left.
It was all over the news, media, and everything.
Nigga said a Mickey Mouse ring. I can't with these niggas.
Jordan actually left the team. But they don't count that quitting though.
They say a Mickey Mouse ring, but other niggas couldn't get the Mickey Mouse ring. So
if the Clippers would have won, they would just like when Kawhi beat the Golden State Warriors. Nobody said like they bring up every time LeBron came back from 3-1. Draymond played Game 6 and Game 7. So, but they always
Hold
say,
on, Ja'Cory Royal. Okay, now Ja'Cory Royal. Now, if I'm lying, then come in the chat and I'll prove it to you. We could do the head-to-head debate then.
He's saying that we don't got no stats.
Okay, hold on. If I don't got no proof, then just come in the chat and we can have a head-to-head debate on it.
He said Pippen quit on his team. As
You're going to lose your money because I
LeBron.
remember exactly what Lamont talking about.
Hold
I'm
on.
old enough to remember that.
Hold on, Jacory Rowe, if I'm lying, then hit the link, come in the chat, and if I pull up the facts on it.
Nah, he said prove it now, Lamont. He said prove it now.
Nah, you got to come in the chat. We want to hear your voice.
There's endless trolls in the chat. How come ain't not one?
Hold on, come in here. We want you to put a voice behind the chat warrior and stuff you doing in the chat. I want a voice so I can. So again, and if I make a snippet video on you, it's just a short, usually about 5-minute snippet. It's usually not too long. It ain't gonna be too bad, and I try to make it funny, so it's not gonna be too crazy. We ain't gonna cuss you out enough.
Hey, has anybody heard from Rodman lately?
He said what?
He said
Rodman.
Dennis Rodman. Nah, been hearing about his son, but that's it. His son is hooping.
He just went over to China to enjoy himself, I guess, because that's the last I heard of him.
I know he's real cool with the North Korean
Kim Jong-un.
Yeah.
He said, "Hey, Jacory, why did Aweezy block you today? What you do over there? He don't even really block people like that."
Because he was talking shit about Brian, so he got him out of there.
Oh yeah, LVZ don't play.
No, he said Weezy. He said Weezy blocked him.
Oh, Weezy.
Oh, Weezy Bang.
Yeah. I forgot what he said, but I was like, I know he gonna. I ain't even do it. I knew Bees was on. I knew Weezy was gonna get his ass on.
Yeah, some people ain't got no patience when y'all just get to talking off the. When y'all say that stuff, I just want y'all to do it on the live.
No, he said something out of this world though. He said something out of this world.
I know. I don't care what you say. You just do it on the live panel so I can record it.
Because I was in the chat and I just saw him get banned. Everybody was like, "Damn, they got that nigga out of there." I was like, "Damn, what the hell he said?" I didn't even see it because he blocked him.
Look at ISO Joe. He said, "I'm proud." Hey, ISO Joe, wasn't you the one cleaning up on the Amazon gift cards?
Yeah, that was him.
He was beating all y'all to the punch on those.
Hey, nah, I ain't gonna. Yeah, I fuck with ISO Joe. I mean, he was like Joe Johnson, the GOAT.
Yeah, he the Atlanta Hawks fan. I remember you.
Nah, don't backtrack now, man. Nah, you don't gotta backtrack.
Oh, it would be.
Don't backtrack, man.
One of these trolls, come on here. Man.
I was hoping you came in here because I remember that shit. You was about to get smoked like a pot of milk.
No, Jordan. They said Jordan was quitting on this team too. There was times when he felt like the teams weren't good enough, or there was one series where he just stopped shooting the ball. You
said it was like he would go to like the statistician in the middle of the games and ask how many points he got.
Yeah, remember when the year where they were starting him at point guard because for whatever reason. He was whenever he get to a close to he would go every quarter and ask them what are my stats so he can get that triple double. But again, I don't blame him for that. You play for stats. That's what hoopers do. You mindful of your stats.
Right. So I mean,
KD do it right now today.
I can remember games where we lost, and I'm still going to the score table looking at my stats. I want to see what I did. I mean, it happens. I mean, that's what you do. You play for it.
I mean, but at the same time, I mean, it's like it's a level to it too. I'm not saying you can't play for stats, but I'm saying make sure it comes with wins too.
Yeah, and don't do it just blatantly like.
Hey,
like I like it when it's natural, you know.
This dude
hold on.
the same shit over and over and over.
Richard Lewis Australia, he said this is the same Will from Ticket TV.
I was gonna say that too.
Young Money Will. This dude is a lot bot. He keep typing the same shit.
Like, but he a Knicks fan though, ain't he?
That's right up Will Allen. You know he don't got too much vocabulary.
He been in here for like an hour, literally typing the same sentence.
Nah, he not type of Khalil. He copying and pasting, man.
He got limited vocabulary. Hold on, we got somebody new coming in. I haven't seen him before. He got South something to. All right, what's good, man? Hold on, how do you say that?
South Solitical.
What does that mean? What is that? Yeah, what is that?
Southerly manifested, politically inclined.
Damn, okay. Hold on. What is that? Hold on. Dive into that more. What do you mean?
Kind of like an alias. It's like I'm from the South, but I have some kind of political intellect to me. You know.
Okay, I feel you.
You know, so I like some of the stuff you guys talking about. I had to jump on. I've been checking you out for a couple of days, man. And I'm a big LeBron guy, man. And one of the biggest things I think that people don't understand is play sports. Especially just, I assume none of us have played, none of y'all played at the professional level. I haven't myself.
Nah.
And I think what separates him from Jordan is people don't know how hard it is to go to another team and they become instant contenders. Because everybody assumed that Jordan at his peak would be able to go to a different team and have the same impact like LeBron did. But I beg to differ in some ways. You know what I mean? Because I don't think it's as easy as people want to think. I don't get mad at people saying Jordan the GOAT, but Jordan, for Jordan to reach his full potential, he had to get in the system with an up-and-coming good coach in the triangle. Of course, he was going to be one of the greatest without being in that system, but he didn't start winning until he got into that Phil Jackson triangle system and then even got, they got Horace and Pippen as well, and they evolved into star players. And the league kind of, in the 90s, kind of became an expansion league as well, which a lot of people don't bring up, where you had more teams, which kind of dilutes the talent too as well. But, I don't think Jordan would have had the same impact if he would have went to other teams and they become instant contenders to win it all like people suppose LeBron, the same way with LeBron, I don't know if y'all guys can chime in on that if y'all agree or disagree with me.
I agree.
Well, I think people fail to realize is that LeBron is the dude from Akron, Ohio, and that he was drafted by Cleveland Cavaliers. Cleveland is a small market. The big markets have a better chance to recruit better players and stuff because of what they surround their environments like and their atmospheres. I don't want to disrespect my boy Khalil and say nobody want to go to Cleveland, but it shows. They don't land big superstars. Charlotte Hornets don't land big superstars. Sacramento, New Orleans, Minnesota, Memphis. People want to play in big markets. Michael Jordan benefited from being in the big market. LeBron couldn't recruit nobody like he said to go to Cleveland. LeBron would have stayed in Cleveland. He would have got D-Wade and Chris Bosh. That's what I believe. But didn't nobody want to come, and Dan Gilbert didn't trade for Amari Stoudemire. The man knew he had to go get help elsewhere because he was never going to get that help in Cleveland. That's why he left. But then that's why he came back the minute he got some help because he knew he could get the job done, and he did.
Right. I agree with you from this standpoint. When Doug Collins was the coach for the Bulls, they had Tex Winter. That's who really implemented that triangle. Doug Collins kept the ball in Jordan's hands, and Jordan was getting all these scoring titles, but they was losing every year. What made Jordan legendary was when Phil Jackson got there and took the ball out of his hand. He started to trust his teammates more. And once he started passing the ball, that's what really made Michael Jordan legendary, is because he started winning. LeBron already came into the league with that passing mentality already, sharing with his teammates and stuff like that. So it's a difference. You know what I'm saying? Jordan was more tunnel vision in his first 7 years. He wasn't really trusting teammates. He was jacking up a lot of shots. He was efficient, but he took a lot of shots, and he didn't play a winning brand of basketball. And Doug Collins didn't want to take the ball out of his hands. Tex Winter always had that triangle in effect. Phil just picked it up, you know what I'm saying, and ran with it and really implemented it. And that's how the Bulls was able to string off 6 championships. And then he did the same shit with the Lakers.
Let me throw this point in here for you. I don't mean to interrupt you. But at that time, you're talking around that window around the early 90s. Remember the point I brought up? When the league hit the 90s, a lot of the mid to late 80 dynasty teams from the Pistons, the Lakers, and all that, they were dying off. Kareem had retired in the mid 80s. The Pistons, they would 4 or 5 year run toward the latter of the 80s. At the start of the 90s, they were pretty much done. And the league was expanding. There wasn't no what they call super teams, even though they didn't call them super teams then. You know what I mean? All that, it was like a perfect storm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And even I was listening earlier, and when a dude was talking about Pippen won the top 10 player in the 90s. Pippen went to 7 All-Star games, and he was 8-time first team all defense in the 90s. No other small forward had no numbers like that. You can go look them up. So objectively speaking, how could you even say that he won the top 10?
I ain't say that. I said Ticket said that.
No, I'm just saying, I didn't say anybody was saying on the panel, but I'm just thinking of the thought of
Yeah,
Okay,
I agree.
That's just people trying to minimize Michael Jordan's like teammates and like they try to make it seem like he backpacked everything and nobody else really contributed. Like, no, those dudes. Dude, Ryan Harper played for Cleveland. We used to call him the Cleveland Michael Jordan. That's how good that dude was. People don't see a lot of these dudes be young, like this Young Money Will dude. This dude, you could tell he young, so like he wouldn't know Ryan Harper and how good he really was. And
growing
you
up,
know what
he
I'm
was
saying?
a
Like
20.4 for the Clippers.
Before he hurt his
Then he went to
knees,
the Lakers.
they
And
used
you
to call
remember
him the young Jordan.
Kukoc? You remember Kukoc was they brought people to replace Jordan. And you remember Pippen that got mad at Pippen that got mad at the Bulls because they had set him up with what was that? Was it that year Jordan was gone?
Yeah.
They were trying to make him the star and they gave him that big contract. You know what I'm saying? Because Pippen was still not making no money. They paid Kukoc to come in. It's like, I'll break it down like this. Jordan was the best player of the 90s. He had the best coach. And when you look at it, his team, the Bulls was the only team that was a true dynasty. So what real true competition did he have, year in and out that people could definitively say they're going to beat the Bulls? Ain't no way the Bulls going to beat them. But when you look throughout the course of LeBron's, 10 championship appearance, it's been multiple teams that were picked to beat him.
Like, all of them, except for the Dallas Mavericks and the Miami Heat. He's been an underdog in all of them.
My question is, besides the Magic, because the Magic beat the Bulls, but like, what team in the East was like a competitive team that people were like, oh yeah, they're gonna beat the Bulls?
Well, they was the favorite, but I mean, Jordan's own admission, he said that Reggie Miller and that Pacers team was the best he ever faced, and that's including the finals. That's the one team that I wish they would have played was that Houston Rockets team that went back to back. I wish they would have played them because that was the only team that rivaled them talent-wise because they didn't have no answers for Hakeem. They wouldn't have been able to stop him. And then you had a lot of shooters around them and shit, like with Mario Elie and all these different dudes. Like, that's the only team I wish they would have played against. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
that's the reason I know that Bull team wouldn't be able to deal with a team like Golden State because if you look at the Pacers team, they were one of the more better shooting teams in the 90s. That's why if you look throughout the 80s, Jordan came in the mid 80s. It was still a big man game, and it was starting to change in the mid 90s. But that was when Jordan came back, of course, in 95. And it was a lot of young and up and coming guards / forwards because the league was turning into a hybrid league coming into the mid 90s with the Grant Hills, you had Penny, it was a hybrid point guard that post up 6'7", do all this stuff. And you had the Glenn Rices and a lot of players that were torching Jordan. They put up 30. A lot of people don't know about that that's a little bit younger. They were torching Jordan. And these players are not the same skill set as players in the 2000s and even now. Like the guards and forwards that we have, they can shoot. And as athletic as they is, I think Jordan could, of course, play in this era, but him having a guard and to match up with some of these players, it'd be a lot difficult.
I just say it straight up, bro. Niggas might disagree with me, but I just said it multiple times. If Jordan was to play in 2021, he'd be like DeMar DeRozan.
Nah,
I think he'd be better than that. He'd be better. I know that's what the analytics said. He'd be better than that.
I get what you're trying to say.
Because you got a lot of guys with that same level of athleticism. He wouldn't be an outlier like he was in the 90s. Like with that, the only other guy that could have really rivaled him was Clyde Drexler as far as like his athleticism, or maybe like a Dominique in the 80s. Yeah. But you didn't really have that level of athleticism. Now you got marginal guys like Gerald Green with that same level of athleticism.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think Jordan could score 40, average 38 or 40, but it comes down to this.
I don't see him averaging 40 a game in this era.
I think he could, but the biggest glaring thing to me is who you gonna guard? Because it ain't no Hornaceks and John Stockton's out there like in Utah when you used to play. The guard play in the late 90s when you was in his prime peak, they way better than they are now.
And see, that's why
no Hornacek in the finals.
See, that's why I don't think he would score 40 because he would have to spend too much energy on defense. It's too many guards.
I think he would have won, but I don't think he would have won 3 and then win another 3 like he did. Like, because these teams
No,
are soup up real fast.
I think it would have been on his coaching.
Yeah, that
He would have
too.
had we saw with a
But
trash coach, Jordan always put up big numbers, but they were losing. With a good
Right.
coach, his numbers were slightly not as good, but he was more efficient, and they just made it easier for him to score. But so again, isn't there? It would be for Jordan if he had a coach that found a way to use his mid-range talents, and that would be tough with the way teams zone up. That's something Jordan didn't have to see, but I mean, he still was a tough shot maker. So
Right.
Yeah.
he was a tough shot maker. I give him that, but to say he was going to win 6 titles, I don't see that happening.
Nah, these teams are gear up and prevent. Look at what the KD little suck ass doing now. Like they would have did that same shit to Jordan. Like, I mean, think about it. LeBron went in 2016. Then they go get Kevin Durant, soup it all up. He win last year. Then KD go get Harden and all these different dudes, soup it all up. Jordan would have got that same treatment, man. They would have been souping it up, and to prevent that 3 and then another 3, he wouldn't have did that shit. I'd give him a couple, but I think he would have been better than DeRozan.
We missing a simple timeline of this. The 80s, dynasty teams, Lakers,
Right.
Lakers,
Celtics, and the Sixers.
and Pistons. The 90s, only true dynasty, Bulls. 2000s, dynasties, Lakers, Spurs. So if he was in the league in the 2000s and 80s for the bulk of that decade, ain't no three-peating there for nobody, bro. You in the 80s, 2000, you finna be the Spurs 3 times in a row or the Lakers? Come on. You know what I'm saying? No.
And like, let's say, like, if he would have went up against that Pistons team was like one of the best. And I'm not talking about the bad boy Pistons. I'm talking about the 2000 Pistons. Like, that's one of the best defensive teams in NBA history.
I don't know.
They could have multiple championships themselves.
It's
They
the
was
style
only
of play. For Jordan, for me, it would be the style of play. I mean, the style of play has changed so much. That's what it makes. The style of play change so much. It's actually made good players into the average to rope. Like Carmelo's mid-range game is now completely ineffective because that style of play just don't work anymore.
I would like to the last couple of years of Kobe's career, what was his 3-point percentage?
Probably around 33% or something, 32.
I doubt it was that high.
That's not very high.
No,
Yeah,
I'm
was
saying
somewhere around there.
that's not high. That's like average, but I doubt it was that high though.
It was that because he was hurt a lot. So like Kobe went out injured. You know what I'm saying? He missed the season.
When y'all was talking about Jordan playing in today's league, that's what I would, because I got to see a lot of Kobe's games. So
yeah, see the hybrid. See with us playing in a hybrid league where we got so many great players, and you can't say, well, he's not a point guard, but he this height, or he not a point, or he the size of a forward, but he play like a point. That works against Jordan, in my opinion, working in playing in the era like that. Because when he played in his prime, people had defensive positions, and certain players he could take advantage of. It wasn't no LeBron that's bigger, stronger, and jump just as high as you guarding you. Or no Durant, or no, it wasn't players like that. Not saying that they would stop him from scoring, but depending on what teams come together play, it make it pretty difficult matchup. And he'd have to actually like playing Golden State. Ain't no hide nowhere. They Golden State with Durant. Where you gonna hide? Either you gonna guard Steph, or you gonna guard
Clay.
You gonna guard Clay, or you gonna guard Durant. Ain't no hiding at the guard position. Ain't nowhere for you to rest. You know what I mean?
It's true.
Fact.
Yeah.
Well, the strength of the Warriors would take away from the strength of the Chicago Bulls of the at least the second three-peat. Their strongest asset was the interior defense, being able to clamp down in numbers and make the court just much smaller for you. The Golden State spaces. I don't know if some of those players on that Bulls team can guard in space.
Yeah,
you get put on that island with somebody, and that's where
no
style
guard
of play comes in.
Well, it's no defense for Steph shooting up, hitting over 40% from 25 feet back. But
it's not even that Steph makes the shot. It's this fact that Steph can make the shot. Because he can make that shot. Whoever's guarding Steph now can't really help the way he would normally be able to help or go double in the 90s. So that takes it away. So now you've taken away an essential defender and it also affects what you do defensively in other places. So on certain picks and certain like those guys, I don't know if they could guard the pick and roll with Steph Curry. That team would struggle.
Think about this. How even if you take the best team, arguably the best team the Bulls had, the 96 Bulls, the 172. How do Rodman play if Draymond's running point? Because your best rebounder is having to guard a dude that's running point. Especially if they go small, real small, and make him guard a perimeter play. And run a 1-and-4 box, or just space the whole court. It's like it's nothing they can do.
I mean, Jordan, honestly, Jordan probably would have guarded Draymond a lot because they needed Jordan to score. You're not guarding Stephen Curry running around off screens and shit for a whole series and then getting 40 on the other end. That's not going to happen.
Yeah,
so you don't have to guard the weakest guy on the floor.
That's true. That's probably what Jordan would do in this game.
He would have to guard Draymond.
Yeah.
But who gonna guard? Who Rodman gonna guard? Are you gonna take all that rebounding out the game?
Rodman gonna get eat up by Durant. That's just all there is to it.
Hey, bro, I'm about to call it a night, y'all, man.
I'm about to shut the stream down. Although right now, anyway, we're going on 4 hours, so it was a good stream. Great conversation. Unfortunately, we didn't get no WNBA players to pull up and engage in that conversation. We tried. I see that. I see all the messages y'all sent, all the mentions, but none of them would really pull up and give us that conversation. So again,
schedule that shit.
I mean, I'm going to continue to try to reach out to them, but the thing is, I'm not about to do the work for them. I mean, they should be seeking out all these platforms to put these voices out there. Today, we was one of the few times where we were trying to actively engage them, and none of them wanted to step to the plate and engage the conversation. I'll make another attempt to reach out to players that are part of the Players Association. Maybe they might be more willing to speak. Maybe they know a little bit more, but it just doesn't seem as if they're making an attempt to really go out there and speak on some of the stuff that we're talking about. I don't care about the pay scale in the WNBA right now or benefits that you're getting, all of that is irrelevant to me because you're just forcing them to pay more money than they don't have to give. So y'all just really hurting yourself when y'all try to force the WNBA to do that.
You know how you get them to come on the channel? They use reverse psychology and talk shit to them. Like, y'all don't
I ain't gonna talk shit. No, them. That's how you make sure they don't show up.
Yeah, you think Durant sensitive, boy. Whew.
Yeah, they won't show up.
They're gonna clap back. They're gonna be like, what?
No, they won't. They won't come on a show where they feel like it's hostile. They won't do that.
Hey, Lamont, before I be out, what's your? I'm gonna donate to that little event y'all having, just to give.
Yeah. It's right there on the screen.
Your Cash App.
Yeah, you see it. Should be on the screen. I could put it in the private chat, but yeah, we got tonight was probably one of the best nights with regards to donations for the community event. We got up to $270, man. So that's big time.
It's a blessing
to get us toward our goal. Yeah, I appreciate everybody for just jumping out there, getting it in. And all we have to do is once we hit that $5,000 threshold, the sponsors are gonna match it. That's $10,000. We're gonna be able to again take care of the venue, get jerseys, travel accommodations for people 4 hours outside of Indianapolis. And we can start scheduling who's going to be in the boxing event for the third, who's going to participate in the basketball event in there. So I can't really go out and talk to content creators, whether they're big or small, to ask them to participate in this if we don't have a venue set. So right now, I'm just kind of waiting on the finances to come in to fund it. And we'll just kind of go from there. But hey, if you want to donate, the Cash App's right there. Salute to everybody for donating. But we're going to go ahead and get up out of here tonight. Salute to everybody that came in. Good conversations. Shock Jock Part 3 is coming out this weekend. So turn the notifications on.
Hey,
definitely turn them on. And we got a little animated cartoon coming soon too. Y'all going to like this one. Y'all going to like this one. This one's good. I ain't going to lie. This was real good. So...
All right, Brother Lamont, brothers on the panel, man. Good conversation, sister on the panel. Y'all brothers know y'all stuff, man. It was good. It's always good to talk to people that know their stuff, man.
Facts.
Yeah, salute. Thank you for letting me in the panel, Lamont. Y'all be safe, man. God bless.
Yes, sir.
God bless, fam.
All right, y'all. Salute to the chat. Salute to the
Peace
panel.
and love, everybody.
But we out, y'all.
All right, y'all.
Good night, everybody.
All right.
Let me up, bro.
Ain't talking about nothing, right? Watch this. We gon' bring that pressure.
Just a little FYI, FYF. 20K sub 6 months, what's next? They been hating at first, now they calling us the best. Hit up YouTube, tell them cut the check. Just a FYI, FYF. 20K sub 6 months, what's next? Woo! Fuck your feelings, we all know who the real is. I be getting to it, ain't wasting no time. Walking straight in, we ain't waiting in line. Fuck your feelings, you don't care about mine. You a YouTube gangster, don't be yelling out slime. Or you talking LB, talking Ticket TV. Ain't nobody watching them, all the viewers be sleep. 5 years in, all your subs is your friends. Ticket TV, watch the cars again. Just a little FYI, FYF. 20K sub 6 months, what's next? They been hating at first, now they calling us the best. Hit up YouTube, tell them cut the check. Just a FYI, FYF. 20K sub 6 months, what's next? Woo! Fuck your feelings, we all know who the real. They all know, shop don't close. Working 24, trying to make the channel grow. Look at them, pointing fingers, hating on the low. You can't compete with our podcast show. Couldn't make it in the league, so we got on TV. Crying by LeBron like a little baby. You must be crazy, trying to ever play me. Or you super tough until it's time to say cheese. Just a little FYI, FYF. 20K sub 6 months, what's next? They been hating at first, now they calling us the best. Hit up YouTube, tell them cut the check. Just a FYI, FYF. 20K sub 6 months, what's next? Woo! Fuck your feelings, we all know who the